What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? What's happening? How y'all feeling? How's everybody doing today? Is everybody in the halfway decent mood or no? What's happening, friends? What up? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up to everybody inside of the chat? I need to get my voice back. I really need to get my voice back. I just want my voice back. I really do. I want my voice back. That's all I want right now. I want my voice back, and I want some upgrades, and I want some changes, and I want some growth, and I want progress, and I want success, and I don't want to go to the dentist tomorrow. Yep, got to go to the dentist after the show tomorrow. So that should be fun times. And life is interesting. What's going on, Chad? How y'all feeling today? Lots of things been happening throughout the week. I'm trying to elevate conversation, and I'm just trying to figure it out, man. I really am trying to figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure it out. So we gonna make it do what it do, you know? Man. Let me check in with the chat and see what the chat is talking about right now. What's happening, chat? Onaka says y'all was cutting up on after hours last night. I don't know why though. I honestly thought it was a pretty reasonable, tame show. We had over 2,200 people in there rocking at different parts throughout the show. And so what I'm trying to understand is I don't know, man. I don't be getting stuff. I don't be understanding things sometimes. Maybe it's me. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm confused. I'm really, really confused. I don't understand everything. I don't see everything every time. K Cooper says, tired of seeing people complain in the comments on Room 9. Oh, we don't care about that. Listen, let me tell you something about people. All right. For my entire time that I've been on the internet, it's two things that I can guarantee you. Number one, people are going to complain. Number two, the more that people complain, the more successful your show is going to become. So when people say stuff like, oh my God, like they're always going to spell your doom. Oh man, this is going to implode. You should just lose this. It just comes with the territory. People are going to complain, but the more that they complain, the bigger that the numbers are. You know what I'm saying? So everybody say, oh man, I'm never coming back. And then next thing you know, you got 2,200 people watching at one point, right? Oh man, I can't believe it. Okay, right. People are messy. That's just what they are. They're messy. They wild. They're weird. They're all of that, right? So when you hear and see people doing certain things and playing things a certain way, that's just the way that it is. That's the way that it goes. We don't worry about all of that other stuff. We don't get into all of that. Let me speak for myself. I just focus on continuing to push. That's what I focus on. I just keep working. I keep pushing. Speaking of which, I was thinking about it this morning because obviously I had to travel all the way from the suburbs here into the studio. because I don't really like doing shows from home no more. I like being in my studio. I like being in this comfortable chair. I like having my TVs. I like looking at my YouTube plaques. I like working in my spots, all of that stuff, right? And so roll with me here. AD, 100,000 for a cameraman is not overpriced. You could have fooled me. You know what? Let's talk about something else with regard to people. In order for me to be more productive, I think I need to bring on one more person, maybe just part time. One more person, maybe part time. And I think that what I need is a producer. I think I need a producer. Like, I need a producer that knows how to edit. So, one of the things that pains me and one of the things that really slows me down as a business person is all of the tedious things that I have to do to produce for the shows that I have to be on, right? Like the content that I have to pull up for after hours, or even this, the Millionaire Morning Show, right? I need somebody that takes what I select and format it in a way that I like it formatted so I can just come in, do the work, and focus on that. That's what I need, bro. That's what I need. I just need somebody that knows how to use Premiere Pro or whatever editing software, can take the template that I built and put the content in its right format and context. That's what I need. I think that's what I need, bro. I think that's what I need. To take the content or take the things that I select, correct the audio, put it in its right format, and set it up so that I could just go in and cook up. I think that's what I need. I need somebody part time to move that way. That's what I need. Because it's a lot. It's a lot putting together this and putting together that. And I probably have to spend so many hours a day. Me, you be too busy. I don't know if you really built like that. I'll be having to spend too many hours a day focused on curating and editing and all of that other type of stuff, bro. That's what I have to spend my time on. Yo, listen. Charles. Check it out, big dog. I'ma hopefully say this for the last time, and then we gonna move on and keep it G. All right. I don't care about what Roland Martin got going on. The last thing on my focus and what I'm trying to figure out is, why is there so many men trying to get other men to have conversations about a man that is going through some kind of extortion and all of that type of stuff. I don't watch people and other platforms for gossip. I don't. I genuinely don't. I don't care about Roland Martin. I am not interested in having a conversation about Roland Martin. I don't want to see no pictures. I don't want to see no videos. And what I'm trying to figure out is why are so many guys trying to get other content creator men to talk about other men? Is it a court case? Is it related to popular culture? Is it something related to politics? Is it something related to sports? Is it something related to something relevant like that? Because if it's not, if you only want somebody to talk about somebody because something related to something they got going on, sexual or something, that's not my thing, bro. I'm just not interested in that. I don't understand why guys, because even talk about that, I would have to go look at the pictures and watch the video. Why are y'all asking other men to do a live stream to talk about other men's extortions? I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand that. I'm not going to talk about that. Now, if you want me to talk about something that he said related to Howard University or his perspective on the Democrat Party or the recent elections and the socialist movement, then I could talk about that. But I'm not interested in talking about that other stuff. I think there's other content creators to do that. You got the sassy ones, you got Tasha K, you got the gossip columnists, you got all of that type of stuff. I like talking about student loans, the culture, all of that type of stuff. I don't care about exposés. That's not my thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I actually like talking about the content, not the person. So maybe some other content creators will talk about it. Maybe that's their vibration. I'm a 44-year-old man. I don't care about what another dude is doing inside of his bedroom. What do I care about what he got going on? I care about what I got going on. Is there some money in it somewhere for me? So Danny, why are you here then? I'm telling you, man, the men are worse than the women nowadays. I get it, ladies. I'm on y'all side going forward. I'm on y'all side going forward. I be seeing people coming in here that regularly act like they don't, oh man, I don't like what you say. I don't. And they be here every day listening on their AirPods, on their phone, all of this stuff. Every day. The men are more crash out and emotional than the women. Every day. They come in here and I just watch them. And the reason that I don't even want to censor them, because I like to see how many times every day they gonna come in and say what they say. And it's like miserable bitches. That's what it is. These grown men, most of them are black men. These grown men come into the chat every day. And I look over in the Room 9 chat and they be in there whining about the girls. Oh my God. He needs somebody to come to her. Stand up for the men. You miserable bitches. Just a bunch of miserable little hoes and bitches. Are that's what my grandma would say. Like, you such a bitchy man. Grow the fuck up. Like, why do we care about what women do? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Hey, look what this guy said. Like, what is wrong with you niggas? Grow some balls, bro. Grow some balls. And these niggas be waking up to go rewatch the show so that they can focus on Molly. Molly, meanwhile, is caught kicking it. We talking, chatting it up. We trying to figure out what the next move is so we can run up a bag and stuff. She don't even be thinking about it. Niggas can't wait. It's like, nigga, she living that rent free in y'all heads? I don't know, bro. I'm genuinely confused. I think that the culture is backwards, upside down, left to right. It's a weird space, man. It's a weird place that we in right now. It's a weird space. And I apologize for cursing. I really do. I really do. I apologize for cursing, but that's what I see. See, look, the hangman guy. This nigga want my attention so much. He want my dog. This dude be on my dick so hard. And I just be wondering, like, how are you on another man's dick this hard? It's nice. I just ain't got room for extras. Like, you on my nuts. This nigga be in here every day. Look what Anton said, y'all. Nigga created a whole platform to look what Anton said. It's like, are you that excited to hear from me? I don't even be that excited to hear from me sometimes. This nigga be on my dick every day. Every day. The guys some of these dudes be on your dick so hard that you don't even be wanting to mention them because it's like, that's what they want. Oh my God, he mentioned me. Oh. And it's like, my nigga, what do you need? What do you want? You want for me to be your father? You want me to give you a shout out? How you want me to play this? I don't get it. I don't get it, Oz. I don't get it, V. Nicole. I don't understand it. I don't. These niggas are serial killers, bro. It's the same mindset that the serial killers have. Now I see what the hoes be feeling like. Yo, this nigga keep texting me. He won't leave me alone. He's making me uncomfortable. Because I get to see it on the internet. And now I know what the hoes, when y'all be going out to the bars, or y'all go out to the clubs, or you just walking down the street, and the dude be all on you, and you say, oh, I got a man, and he just keep on bothering you. Well, can you have friends? Oh, baby girl. Oh, I see you looking fine today. It's like, my nigga, she not gonna suck your dick. Just let her breathe, big dog. She trying to get to where she gotta go. You can't see that she a little uncomfortable? And that's the way I be feeling on this show, bro. I be like, my nigga, like, I be trying to nag him out, like, yo, you know I don't like you, right? And they just be gobbling the whole cock. Just be sucking dick all day long. They suck dick on this show. They suck dick on the after hour show. These niggas be in the comments. They be angry. They be bothered. And I be like, bruh, you good? I don't even care that much about me. You care more about me than I care about me. Niggas be in my comments. They be in my DMs. They be niggas be sending whole emails. Like, you good, big dog? You ain't got nothing better to do? You know what I'm saying, Bailey? Like, God, Jesus. These niggas is nut huggers. I'll be trying to get to the show, trying to talk about the Senate win and all of that. Talk about Roland. And if you piss them off too hard, then they really gonna become stalkers. A lot of the dudes that wind up talking about me the most in my YouTube history career, they like former ex-friends that turn bitter ex-lovers. And it's like, my nigga, I didn't know that you like me like that. I'm sorry. I don't go that way. They seriously, they fall out like ex-lovers. The hoes, they may do a bitter stream with the ladies, and then they move on with their life, and they go on and do what they got to do. The guys, oh my God, these niggas be all over. They be trying to figure out who your family is, and oh my God, I want to link up with you guys, and what's going on? They be having whole families, wives, and I'm like, bro. What? Help me help you. What would you like for me to do? Now, when I get a guy that coming in my circle, like a guy, whatever, somebody brings somebody new around, I be vetting that nigga just like the hoes. Like, hey man, is this nigga a fatal attraction type of dude? Is he gonna get mad if we say he can't come to the event? If I hire him and then I fire him, will he become a bitter? Bro, I make the guys sign NDAs just like I make the girls sign NDAs nowadays. That's the honest to God truth. I never thought that I'd get to the point to where I make men sign NDAs just to come and hang around the hoes. Hey, you want to come? Hey, man, who is this new nigga? All right, man, get him an NDA. Tell him he can't talk about the women. Tell him he can't record the women. He can't record us. Tell him to put his phone down. And he can't go out there and start talking crazy about what he's saying. All right? You got to make the guys sign NDAs nowadays because that's the type of feminine energy that we in. It's a wild place. I feel like I'm in the wrong era. I'm in the wrong era. Look, nigga racist, still in the chat. Still in the chat. All on my nuts. It's 4.5 billion women in the world, and you on another nigga nuts. 4.5 billion women in the world, and you could literally have your pick of the litter. Any race, any culture, and a creed, and they just be on your nuts. All on your dick, bro. I get it, ladies. I get it. Make sure you guys ignore them in the chat. We don't censor them, but just ignore them. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. The guys at the meetup is cool. They real ones. They smoking cigars. Ask the ladies. They go to the meetup. They smoking cigars. We having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We buying drinks, making sure that the women get home safely. All of that. Guys at the meetup is chill. They ain't got no issues. The women is safe. They feel comfortable. They don't feel like anything gonna happen to them. It's some other ones, bro. It's some other ones. You gotta vet through it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into some more meaningful conversation at halfway. We'll keep the maddies mad because you're not focusing on them.
We need to start counting everyone under the age of 30 who lives at their parents' house as homeless. You are just as fucked and incompetent. You have arrested development. The only difference between you and a homeless person is you had a safety net. We are in a silent depression. We are in the second Great Depression, and ours is a million times worse than the first one. The only reason I honestly think we haven't devolved into full-blown fascism already is because of credit card debt, and then children choosing emotional abuse to not have to pay rent. They just go home and live off, boomer saving accounts while being told every day that they aren't doing enough. When I have to ask my mom for any help financially, it eats my brain like worms. It eats my soul alive because it makes me feel like a loser, and all I'm asking for is gas money. I'm 23. My parents got married at 23. They got their first starter home when they were my age. A starter home? Get the fuck out of my face. You're talking shit about me, from your middle school bedroom set? Yeah, okay, go off, queen. I think about my middle school bedroom set every day. It's all white IKEA. It was a super tall bed. It was one of those beds you had to almost hop on. Had a core line door.
I think that she has a lot to learn, and you can tell that she's only 23 years old. And maybe she's upset or bitter at somebody in particular. But she's wrong. She's wrong. You cannot be any more wrong. And this is what I hate about society. Society has taught us that we need to lean 100% into being independent, and not that we need to be more mindful about the things that is meaningful to us. Right? One day, a lot of you that are watching this show right now are going to grow up, and you're going to realize, because growing up has nothing to do with age sometimes, but you're going to grow up and you're going to realize that the things that you valued and the things that you thought that you needed to do was just to please other people, and it wasn't because that's what you really wanted to do. One day, a lot of y'all are going to realize that you got it wrong by moving out of your parents' house too early, but you're too stubborn and you have too much ego and pride to actually reconcile with your parents and do the right thing. One day, a lot of y'all gonna wake up and realize that your parents was right about a lot of the things that they tried to tell you, but because you so stuck in your own way, you won't even take the opportunity to get the blessing that come along with going back into your parents' house and making it right. One day, some of y'all gonna realize that you're not always right. You're not always right. You're not always right about everything that you say when it comes to having conversations with your parents. One day, you're going to realize that going out there and voluntarily putting yourself in a situation where you have to struggle didn't necessarily mean that you was growing. And let me tell you something else that's killing y'all finances, it's killing y'all mindset, it's killing your resources, it's killing a lot of the things that you have to do. You are comparing yourself for the sake of trying to please other people. What does that mean, comparing yourself for the sake of trying to please other people? It means that the people that you are looking to, for example, let's take what she said. She said her parents got married at 23. They bought a starter home at 22, 23, or whatever. And that's not your journey. Because just because they did it doesn't mean that it made sense for them at the time for them to do it. A lot of times our parents are not giving us the lessons that came along with some of the decisions that they made that didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Our parents, a lot of times, not all, but different people in different spaces in different parts of the country had different experiences. You know what a lot of parents was wind up doing? You know why they made some of the decisions that they made when they was a lot younger? Because they had you. Because they had you. Our parents, a lot of times, grew the heck up because they had to do the right thing for you. And then we don't appreciate it. You think that they wanted to sit at home all day or have to go and work 2 jobs all day? They didn't. They wanted to go out. They had dreams. They had aspirations. They had different things that they wanted to do. But guess what? Your mama got pregnant and they did the right thing and they decided to marry them. And so they decided to do the right thing. And so they made the sacrifice for your unappreciative, stupid monkey head because they wanted to make sure that you at the very least had the opportunity that they didn't have. And so what we don't do is we don't take that blessing. We don't appreciate it. You know why parents was growing up and getting married at earlier ages? It wasn't that they found a forever person. It was because they did it out of necessity. They did it out of survival. We look at things that they did that they didn't enjoy doing, and we worship it because we don't know what they went through in order to do it. You think that people down south wanted to travel up north just to be able to get a job that they wasn't guaranteed to get? See, nowadays, we sit at our computer and we type and we do mass send out resumes and we do emails and we do all of this stuff and we do online interviews and we think that we really did something. Do you know that the people in the South heard about the fact that they were hiring at the auto manufacturing plants in Flint and Detroit, and they would travel, they would leave their families, travel all the way up to the north just to possibly get a job at an auto manufacturing plant, at a steel mill, who, by the way, wasn't the same way that it is today with all of the assistance and the help of robotics. They was in there killing themselves. That's why they had to have a union. And so they heard that it was some jobs up there. So they would travel all the way up north with no place to stay in their cars, sleep in their cars for the possibility of getting on their feet. And then they would send for their wife and their children just to have employment. And that wasn't that long ago. That was just in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And so when I say that we are the greatest generation with the opportunities that we have in this country, people act like I'm crazy, but it's because they don't know the history. They don't really understand what the previous generations did to make it easier for you, and they was building a plane as they flew it. They went up to a whole nother state that they ain't never been to just to get a job in hopes of being able to provide for their families. And let's remember, at the time you had wars, right? Drugs was flooding the communities. People didn't even know what they was dealing with. You had real racism to where you were being segregated against and told, get your black ass over there. They had real problems back then, but we sit here on our devices and we think that just because we making think pieces on TikTok, that somehow qualifies us to have an opinion about some stuff that we don't even understand. You know why they died earlier? You know why the statistics were that men was dying earlier regardless of whether or not they were married or not and all of this stuff, or when they got married, they died or whatever? You know why? It's because of pollution. And they worked in areas and situations that was a lot more dangerous. They were linemen. You ever seen the old pictures of the people that was walking on the steel beams that was building some of the buildings that we now try to tear down today? They were dying. And it wasn't no insurance payout. Your family just had to figure it out. So you was risking it. And most of the time they got paid by the day. They got paid by the day. They went overseas, they fought wars, they came back with diseases and drug habits, and they was trying to figure it out. They was building the roads, schools, environments. Yes, coal miners. They knew that they was going to die before they ever hit 50. But guess what? They was in coal mines, and the only thing that you could see of what color they was when they took their glasses off, their safety glasses off, and this was the only thing that was showing that had the original color, and all the rest of it was black. And they was breathing that junk in. They were breathing it in. Go into a steel mill. Not the new ones. Not the new ones. The new ones, they've changed it, they've updated it, and they've simplified it, and they've added a lot new technology. When I got into the steel mill, I got into it with the same type of equipment that they built back in the early 1900s. When you go into a steel mill, one of the things that always stuck with me, and this is why I think that earlier in life guys need to go and work and do something physical so that they can truly appreciate what they wind up doing later in life. When I would go into the steel mill, right, it was a smell. And it was like, I can't be breathing this in and think that this is going to work out for me for the rest of my life. It was like a smell of like acid and metal combined with smoke. And it was just like, it's a smell that when you went into the steel mill, it was in your clothes. It was in your you didn't wear your boots outside of the steel mill. You had a specific locker designated with it. And as a matter of fact, I remember that we wouldn't even wear, we had greens. We called them greens, and it was a green uniform, and it was from head to toe, right? And your greens, you couldn't wash your regular clothes. You couldn't take them home and wash them with your regular clothes, right? So they had a company that would come in and specialty clean the greens. And even when you took the greens out of after they was cleaned and they put them back in your locker, if you took them home, you could still smell it a little bit because they was never able to fully get that out of the greens. And so you never washed your regular clothes with your greens, ever. You never washed your regular clothes with your work uniform because it would be almost impossible to get the smell out of your house. It would be impossible to get the smell out of your washing machine. Impossible. And I was just like, that made me want to be a software engineer. It made me want to be a software engineer because I was just like, yo, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't smell this for the rest of my life. I can't deal with this for the rest of my life. It was crazy. And in the summer, in order to get overtime sometimes, because we would shut the line down for 2 days, but we would roll for 7. So we would work 7, then the line was shut down in order for us to clean and recalibrate the machines and everything. But you can come in on your off days and you can scrape out the metal. And so there was this dark pits that was underneath the lines in which we went through the acidification process to clean the steel before we rolled them up into these big old coils. So when you driving down the street, you may see these big rolls of steel, and it's these coils, right? And they're on the back of the truck, and the different types of steel or the different type of metal go out to the stamping plants. They go out for beams. They go out for all kind of stuff, right? But during the downtime, you can come in and work overtime. And so if you wanted the overtime, you can come in, but you would have to go into these deep pits. And the pits was wet. And so you had to put on these big old boots, these big old rubber boots, but it didn't stop you from getting wet. And so you had to manually, and it was all kind of metal and scrap metal and stuff that trims off the sides to make the coils an exact size that needed to be stamped out. But all of that trimming get chopped up and it falls into these pits, right? And it's supposed to fall into these dumpsters, which they bring them out and then they do whatever it is that they do. But a lot of it falls off to the sides into these pits. And so when they shut down, you have to go into the pits and you can only be in there for 15 minutes at a time and you're dripping sweat. So you will go in for 15 minutes, you will come out, somebody else will go in there for 15 minutes, and you will rest, and then you just rotate. And you rotate. And you rotate. And that's how we made our overtime money. And we would be sweating, and would be all of this type of stuff. And you had to put on these Tyvek suits when you went out, and these boots, and you had to put on a white Tyvek suits. And most of the time you took off your greens because you would just be drenched in sweat. And you always had to have somebody with you just in case you passed out down there in that pit. It's the truth. That's what life like inside of the steel mill. And people was literally going up, coming down from the South to come and work in these environments because that's what we considered a good job. And when people went and got their education back then, because now we do it for different reasons. But when people went and got their education back then, the reason that they went and got their education was because they didn't want to work in the steel mill no more. And so the fathers would tell the sons, hey, listen, you don't want to do this. I know we live a good life. I know you don't want to go to college, but I want you to be the first person to graduate from college because I don't want you to have to be in a steel mill with me. I don't want you to have to throw your back out being inside of the auto plant with me. And so the reason why people were pushing their children is the same reason why the Asian people were pushing their kids to go to college to not have to take over the business. When the Asian people age out for these Chinese food restaurants, they trying to sell them. They not giving them over to their kids. They trying to sell the business. They not giving it to their kids. They want their kids to go and do things with their minds and to get educated and to think differently about money and resources and to live a much better life. They don't want their kids in that restaurant slaving. They don't want their kids in that steel mill slaving. They don't want their kids in these type of spaces. They don't. And Brandon, you should appreciate this because I can speak about it from both sides. It's a lot of people that's just saying stuff, but very few people looked at it and worked in both sides. Very few people can tell you what it's like to be in a steel mill and then to be in a corporate America and then to also have your own businesses. But they don't care about that. We so focused on trying to find out what's wrong with the person, with the messenger, instead of listening to the message. Instead of listening to the message. And it's always the guys. It's not the women. It's always the guys. The guys are trying to figure out how they can still stay broke because they don't want to be accountable for what's going on. We're cursed as a people. We're cursed. I'm sure of it. I'm positive. We're the only group of people that try to figure out how we can still stay broke and dusty. We're cursed as a people, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. And every once in a while, you get somebody else that wake up out of the matrix, and they say, you know what? We got to do things differently. And the minute that they reach their hand back down to give somebody some insight so they can pull them up, their hand get bit. And then they tell you to keep putting your hand in the pit. We cursed. We don't want the knowledge. The information needs to die with the people that acquired the information because the people that need it the most don't appreciate it. The information needs to die with the people that have been able to spend a lifetime acquiring it because the people that really need it the most can't appreciate it. We so dumb, bro. We are the most voluntarily ignorant people in the world. It's insane. Let them go. Let them go. Leave them behind. It's the only way. It's the only way you're going to be able to progress. Let them go. You got to let them go. Real talk. Got to let them go. You got to let them be whatever it is that they're going to be, and you got to move forward. Or be cursed along with them. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Let me read some of these cash apps and super chats, and let's get it popping, y'all. Just keep it moving. We ain't even focused on that right now. Elevation. Solomon Cannon. Shout out to my dog Solomon Cannon. I appreciate you. I'm not gonna read it live. But I hear you, big dog. All right, I got you. Thank you, Solomon Cannon. You said don't read it live, and I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for holding me down. Mike, that dude in the building. What up, Mike, that dude? I appreciate you. And Spencer Campbell in the building. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. I appreciate you, big dog. Nick T says, check out the story about an NYPD detective doing a drive-by shooting. We're going to cover that next. I got you. Shout out to Nick with the fireball. I appreciate you. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD and the Chasers. You know sassy men drive sassy cars. By the way, I got a few prospects for you. Last, the Dallas meetup will be right on time since the State Fair starts the 25th. It's definitely, y'all got a State Fair in Dallas? You know, when I do this Dallas meetup, I think I'm going to be there for a little bit. I got to check with my schedule. I think I should be fine in September. But I think I'm going to fly in like a couple days earlier. That way I get to, I already know Dallas. Like I've been there. I spent some time there. My dog, Charleston White, we didn't spend some time there. But I'm going to go and I'm going to explore the city some more and see what the culture in Dallas is. Right on time since the State Fair is definitely experienced. All right, bet, High Tolerance. I'm on it. Thank you, my friend. Wesley Turner says the way she thinks is exactly why so many young people are looking to socialism. They don't understand that it will destroy everything that they love. Well, they'll understand it when it's too late. Do you think Americans even like each other, says OG Strong? Yep. I go outside every day and there's people that's dealing with people and they like each other. The internet is a wild place, though. Wesley Turner with the fireball says, when bro in your last video said that the community is like an authoritarian government, I had to really sit with that for a minute because it's true. It's true. I ain't gonna talk about it. You love Dallas, Jody. Anton, what happened to the Snowbird videos was pure motivation. Well, all of the vlogs moved over to the Patreon. Saturday Night Beater says, I thought we were good. Anton's ex-boss. All of the vlogs move over to the Patreon. That's number one. And number two, I had to come and just be in the city for a while. All right, we'll talk about it, Yakar. I had to be there and be here and talk and deal with it for a while because I'm building a lot of things. I'm building a lot of homes here. So 2 months. Starting in November, I'm gonna be on the road, bro. I'm gonna be done with all of my projects. I'm taking like a 6-month building sabbatical, and I'm gonna just be on the road, bro. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Let me just double check that date for you, Courtney Egger, because I see you asking about Dallas. September 26th. September 26th is what we targeting. Last Saturday of September, we're going to be in Dallas. And I'll give y'all an update on the times and the location after I solidify it. All right? So lock down that date. We're going to be in Dallas September 26th. And we're going to get it popping. No mentioning of locations, no mentioning of nothing. All right? I don't want Dusties being there trying to figure out how they can suck dick. I don't want that. We off that. We not. Every time that we go to a meetup, it's good vibes, good energy. I've never had not one problem in more than 4 years of doing this. I've never had one problem of more than 4 years of doing this, and we're not going to start inviting outsiders that ain't in the Bag Chasers, that ain't in the Patreon, to try to mess it up for us. All right? What was that, in Mount Vernon? Shout out to Slan Sells Cars, says great show last night. I noticed the subtle changes. More changes is going to be coming, Slan. I appreciate you for holding me down for the 10 ball. The date is before your birthday, top notch. Well, then that means that I'm looking forward to seeing you there so we can celebrate your birthday. Yeah, I will be. Let me be quiet. All right, y'all, let's get further into it. We're going to talk about it.
Jennifer Lackard was a second in command at the Mount Vernon Police Department, serving as its deputy police commissioner for more than 6 years. She helped keep crime off the city streets and arrested criminals when she needed to. But today, this morning, she was greeted at the door by police officers, but they were there to put handcuffs on her and now charged alongside her 20-year-old son with attempted murder. We'll show you video tonight of the 49-year-old Lackard who was let out of the 44th precinct a little while ago, her hands cuffed behind her back. Her son Chase is still inside the precinct. According to sources, both were arrested at their home on Boynton Avenue in the Soundview section this morning, a little more than a month after the high-ranking cop allegedly drove the getaway car for her son in an apparent shooting involving a gang. Lackard's son is accused of opening fire back on June 29th behind the Bronx Criminal Courthouse while inside the car with his mom behind the wheel. His target, a rival gang member. No one was shot in this incident, but Chase is a reputed member of the Slutty Gang. According to police records, he was reportedly shot by police back in 2024 after allegedly wielding a gun, and in 2023 he was also reportedly shot by a cop in the chest on a Bronx bus during a fight with other teens. Lackard is officially out of a job with the city of Mount Vernon, effective immediately. A spokesman says in part, quote, the allegations are unrelated to her duties with the Mount Vernon Police Department and do not stem from any conduct associated with the department or the performance of her official responsibilities. The Mount Vernon Police Department remains fully committed to its nationally recognized wellness unit. The department will continue to operate without interruption, and the critical wellness services and support it provides to our officers, civilian employees, their families, and the community at large will continue as part of the department's ongoing commitment to the health and well-being of its workforce. Now, in addition to that attempted murder charge, Jennifer Lackard and her son Chase also face conspiracy charges. We're also learning tonight that Jennifer Lackard has already been arraigned at Bronx Criminal Court. She's due back in late September. We're still waiting to find out what happened during that arraignment. Her son Chase is still inside the 44th precinct, expected to also be arraigned tonight. He also has multiple court appearances on the calendar.
Sabrina, you keep telling me to close my mouth. I'm floored. I'm floored. What do you mean? Close your. I'm floored at this whole conversation. So wait a minute. Second in command at the police station. Your son is out here in a gang getting shot by the same police that you're in charge of. What is going on out here? What is happening? I might have to do a completely separate reaction to this because I need to deep dive and figure out what the heck is going on. But this is crazy. Are y'all hearing this? I say it all the time, right? And y'all act like I'm crazy when I say it. But I say it all the time. And what do I say? I said the first thing that I ask a question on is, where's the fathers? Where is the fathers? I say it all the time, and y'all don't believe me. If there was a strong father in the house, in their life, then I guarantee you that we would not be having a conversation about this in any way, shape, or form. We would not be having a conversation about this. We would not be deep diving about this. We would not even be, he probably would be in school. Yeah, he might be a little bad, but he would definitely be in a completely different space. But because we don't hear anything about a father, and 9 times out of 10, it's always the same conversation. If there is a father, then he's probably a step baby daddy. But most of the time, because step baby daddies don't care as much about your kids as you, most of the time, it's a mother that is enabling the behavior of the child. And we've gotten to the point to where we now have a second in command police officer going to jail as the getaway driver for the child that had to pop back out on his rivals. What? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How is that even a thing? How does that even play out? And y'all, and again, if it's off, then tell me how it's off. I say it all the time. Where are the fathers? How come, and I'm not taking blame on whether or not his father was in his life or his father wasn't in his life. That's not the conversation that I'm having. What I'm saying is, because you can put blame on anybody. We don't know the situation. You can say, well, she pushed him out or, whatever, so on and so forth. It's enough blame, I'm sure, to go around. Maybe he was an absent father. Maybe she was a whore. It could be a lot of different conversations. A lot of things could factor into this whole thing. But the fact of the matter is there is no father in the picture. And it's telling. It's telling. It's absolutely telling. It's obvious. I can always tell when there's an absent father somewhere. And this situation is no exception. This is insane.
For the coming weeks to unrelated incidents.
NYPD says Jennifer Lackard went from Mount Vernon Public Safety to getaway driver.
Police arrested her and her son this morning. They say she drove the car for him after he shot at a rival gang member behind the Bronx Criminal Courthouse last week.
And today, that's where she went before a judge. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles live there now with the details. Darla.
Mike and Sade, this shooting happened right behind this courthouse in the middle of the day at around noon in the afternoon on June 29th. And prosecutors say that 49-year-old Jennifer Lackard is accused of attempted murder, attempted assault. They say her son came in here for a court appearance, and instead of that, he's accused of a drive-by shooting.
49-year-old Jennifer Lackard, a now former deputy commissioner of public safety for
Mount
Vernon Police, entering a Bronx criminal courtroom, accused of participating in a wild drive-by shooting outside.
She helped her son in a drive-by shooting. Let's not skip over that. She is a second in command as a police officer. And you know what the worst part about this whole situation is? It's always us. Drive-by shooting? Yep. We already know who it is. We already know who it is. We know the race. We know that there's a possibility that there's no father in the home. And we know if they in the gang or not. It's always us. Now, you'll have people in the chat, my maddies, that'll sit here and say, man, you always holding us accountable. Nigga, if it's not me, then who? Because we need to get our stuff together as a culture. I may have my stuff together. You that's watching this right now may have your stuff together. If white people hold you accountable, you're going to say that they racist. If black people hold you accountable, you're going to say that they a sellout. The only people that are sellouts in this situation is you. You that continue to enable the behavior of the worst of us and then continue to try to make it a race-based conversation. I would even be able to be on your side and having more race-based conversations if we were completely without blame. If we were completely without blame, we would be able to have this conversation in truth and say, you know what? We ain't did nothing wrong. We ain't even out here like that. We ain't shooting up no cars. You know how much easier it is to defend something when you can say, bro, we ain't even out here like that. Ain't nobody doing no gang work. Ain't nobody shooting up no cars. You unjustifiably pulling me over, big dog. Why? We don't even have the reputation for that. That ain't even our culture. That ain't even what we about. It would be way easier to defend something if we didn't know exactly who the people was that was committing the crimes. But no. If a person say, hey guys, we need to get it together, it's, oh man, look at this sellout. You the sellout. You the sellout. You are. Every time that we thought we was keeping it real, sold out. Every time that we thought that it was cool to steal out of the corner store, sold out. Anytime that you killed somebody, do y'all realize that you are the ones that are enabling people to kill people that look like you, and you don't think that you sold out? You are justifying people like looking like you, killing people that look like you, and because we call it out as bad behavior, you say that it's a sellout. Ain't that crazy? Boy, the CIA did what the women say? They did they big one. The CIA did they big one. Between the government tying y'all and tethering y'all to the federal government, women continuing to support feminism and sell out their own families, guys that continue to have children out of wedlock, and the black community coming together to justify it all and continue to stay on the Democrat plantation, boy, if they didn't do the perfect combination of gotcha. And then you sprinkle in a little bit of Planned Parenthood in there, and you got you a smorgasbord, baby. We up. Sprinkle a little bit of Planned Parenthood. Sprinkle a little bit of we don't really know that many girls that they never had an abortion in their life. Woo! And we right there. Throw a little bit of bottom of poverty. Ain't making no money. Throw some debt on there. Give them an Escalade, and they good to go. Good to go. Right on top of it. Give you some black representation. Throw a mohawk on their head. We all set, baby. All set. Old Carter ain't never had an original idea in his life. I seen some of the people saying the same thing, trying to mention the same thing in the chat last night, and I thought it was hilarious because I realized that we're just a copycat group of people. So somebody say something and somebody think it's cute, and instead of us saying, I don't know, bro, he might be right on this one because you ain't got no balls, you just get in the line just like the hoes. Me too. Me too. Ain't got a ball in your name, boy. Ain't got a basketball. Ain't got no nuts. Ain't got a football. Ain't got a baseball. Only ball you got is the ones that's in your mouth. Gargling them. Just like the hoes. Just like the hoes. Dudes can't even, y'all just like white men now. All right, let me go ahead and go off on you niggas. Y'all just like white men. You know what the biggest travesty of white men is? Is that they lost control of their households. And we followed them right on into the pit. White men lost control of their women way before we ever did. And y'all followed them right on down in there. And the white women then recruited the black women, and they called it feminism. And y'all followed them right on down into the line. Everything that they pioneered wrong, you just implemented it. Hey, wait a minute. They losing their women? We can lose our women better. Hold on for a second. All of these white men is gay? It can't be nothing wrong with gayness. Let's go ahead and embrace it. Everything wrong with them, y'all adopted, and everything that they did right, you ignored it. You ignored it. And you know why it's so easy to talk about y'all? Because y'all ain't got no power. So it don't really matter. You ain't got no power. You can't, y'all whisper the name, the word Israel or Jewish. They got y'all scared to even say the name. Oh man, no. You know who it is. Them small hats over there. But y'all will jump on these platforms and call each other nigga without even thinking twice. I say, nah, man, you can say what you want to say. You can say whatever words you want to say on my platform. Oh, we scared now. But you can't wait to jump on here and do a boop, 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 off with his head. You whisper when certain other people is on here, and you just complain like little hoes. Man, well, we keep giving money and keep supporting that over there. You must be like them. Nigga, you ain't did nothing to say nothing, and you ain't got no power to change the dynamics of nothing. And that's why you in the position that you in, because all you can do is group up with a bunch of other broke people to complain about your circumstance. You ain't got no power at all. You can't change nothing. You don't own nothing. You rent the place where you at, and you better be happy if your mama let you back in the house. You don't have no power. How you gonna cancel somebody and you ain't got no motion? You can't cancel somebody if you can't get on. You're not even on, so you can't cancel nobody. You're not in the building, bro. You're not in the building at all. At all. Y'all niggas still trying to build a school. And anybody that builds a school, i.e. Diddy, i.e. LeBron, y'all tear them down too. Because they got too much. You know what? You's too uppity. We liked you when you was in the hood, when you was broke like us. People forgot that. People forgot that Diddy had actually stood up a school. People forgot all about that. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about none of that stuff. None of that matters. LeBron's school, don't worry about it. We're going to destroy it, tear it up. We're not going to take care of it. We're not going to leverage it. We're not going to use it as a tool to continue to drive ourselves out of poverty. We're going to focus on the fact that we don't like that this nigga is still in the league. What? He brought his son in? Nepotism. Nepotism. I know Jalen Rose got a school. I see him. Jalen in Detroit all day long. I see Jalen almost at least once a week. I ain't going to tell you where people be at and stuff, but I see Jalen at least once a week. You know who Jalen get the most? Jalen Rose just did the golf classic. You know what it was supported by? You know what his school and charity was supported by? The white people. The white people.
Of the very same courthouse. Prosecutors detailing the allegations during the Tuesday afternoon arraignment, telling the court that the June 29th shooting is all captured on surveillance video. Lackard, her husband James, and son Chase are seen leaving their Soundview apartment that morning. Her 20-year-old son is an alleged gang member and had a court appearance for a gun charge that day. But when he arrived, prosecutors say he opened fire outside at rival gang members, accusing Lackard of getting behind.
Somebody said the white man's ice is always colder to the Negro. Nah, it's the fact that he the only person apparently that got ice, because all you niggas like standing in the sun all day and doing nothing. Standing on the corner, doing like this with some seeds, some sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds. Practicing sucking dick. Practicing sucking dick. But they using sunflower seeds and throwing the sunflower seeds in their mouth.
The wheel and helping him flee the scene.
Courthouse. She's in front of this courthouse for about a good approximately 5 minutes.
The city of Mount Vernon issuing a statement saying, effective immediately, the city of Mount Vernon has terminated Jennifer Lackard's employment. The allegations are unrelated to her duties and do not stem from any conduct associated with the department. Lackard appointed Deputy Commissioner of Wellness for the city in 2020
crazy.
During the George Floyd protest.
What? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so that we promoted the worst of us during the George Floyd protest. Not the George Floyd protest. Nothing like getting behind the George Floyd protest to promote our strong black women that's going to be the getaway driver for their gang-banging son over in Mount Vernon. What? Not getting promoted and awarded a tradition. Look at the background. NYPD tradition of excellence. We got representation. She's taking pictures. Not during the George Floyd protests. What? What? I need my voice back for real. Oh, man. I need my voice back for real. For real, for real. What? Diversity, equity, and inclusion? The New York Police Department Police Academy. Wow.
And has been lauded for her advocacy work with reentry programs, serving 2 terms on Community Board 9 in the Bronx.
Ms. Lackard has for 20 years dedicated her professional life to the health and healing of impacted communities.
Again, this afternoon, Jennifer Lackard pleading not guilty to this indictment. Her attorney did not speak after court, but in court says that the picture painted by prosecutors is completely different than her life and her career. Bail was set at $75,000, and she'll be back in court in September. Reporting live
get out
in
of that.
the Melrose section of the Bronx.
She get out of that in no
Channel 7
time.
Eyewitness News.
That's only $7,500. 10%. She can get out of that. She'll be all right. Just call one of her baby daddies. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Oh, we gonna cook today. It's hump day. Y'all need a little pep in your step. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Nicholson says, I was on the news in Baltimore on Friday. Mind if I send it to your email? You can send it to me. What was you talking about? TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, did you see the lady at Maxwell's in Chicago said Malice from the Clips didn't pay for the polish, and he posted the real video? I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. High Tolerance says Chase lived up to his name. I bet he was the plug on the High Points, Glocks, and Caltex. Dad did a bid and was on Demon Time like moms. TS says you saw Joe Budden on a new show trailer in Crime in America. You know what's so funny? Me and Molly was talking about that. And me and Molly was like, yo, that's our idea. That's our idea. Literally, we was talking about that last night. And it was like, yo, that's our idea. Real talk. That's why I sent them out, Molly and Miss Sanchez, out to the David case. Is because that's our play. And so we were going with the whole true crime, really breaking down the cases and all of that type of stuff. And literally, that's why I sent them out there to get all of the documents and to go into the David case so we can deep dive into it much further than people that's looking at it on the surface. I don't know what to do now. I really don't. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know if to still play it the same way. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how we do it. You remember me mentioning it, Shadow Dragon TV? I feel like people be watching my moves sometimes too, bro. I'm not saying that nobody is biting or nothing. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know what to do. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Elizabeth Nicholas says, Mr. Daniels, you sound just like the prophets in the Old Testament. Respect. Shout out to you, Elizabeth, and I appreciate you for continuing to hold me down. TS running intel for TS be everywhere. He ain't running no intel. He a good person. Show the trailer. Show what trailer? Show Joe's trailer or show ours? Let me see. I might have a little something. What trailer?
So I'm over here working on the mock trailer I'm gonna send to Anton.
So I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I might still go through with it. I'm gonna talk to Molly and Miss Sanchez and see if they see what they want to do and how they want to play it. And just go from there. I agree, Wesley. I'm not gonna say nothing no more. I'm just gonna keep it moving. But we probably still gonna do it. You got to do it anyway for the people that don't watch. We might gonna still do it. We might still do it. Nah, I'm not doing his trailer. We're not gonna do that one. Shout out to my dog Tazzy. I appreciate you. The way you approach it may be better than the way that they do, and that's all that matters, big dog. You got this. Yeah, me and Molly was talking about it yesterday. So thank you, Tazzy. I appreciate you. Vigilante Vontae says, Anton, did you hear about the Odessa teen triple homicide a few months ago? Keep it up the good work. No, I haven't heard about it. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're gonna make it do what it do. I'm probably gonna still do it. And the girls, you know, they vigilant about doing great things and all of this stuff. So we're gonna figure it out. A lot of people don't know. I got so many ideas, and that's why I'm saying I might leverage Mimi to do a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. I do want to get into this Abdul El-Sayed conversation. Oh, let me close that out real quick. I'm sorry. So this was one of the biggest primaries, and I'm going to tell you why. But we'll get into it.
This is an NBC News special report. I'm Steve Kornacki. American voters in 5 states hit the polls on Tuesday, and I've got some major results to share with you, starting in the state of Michigan, where Abdul El-Sayed has won the Democratic primary for the United States Senate. He defeats Congresswoman Haley Stevens. This was a very close race here. You can see there are still a scattering of votes to be counted, but El-Sayed currently leading Stevens by 2 points here. He will be the Democratic nominee this November, and he will face off against the Republican Mike Rogers. He won his primary unopposed tonight. Rogers, a former congressman, he ran for the United States Senate in this state against Alyssa Slotkin in 2024. He narrowly lost. He will be now facing off in his second Senate campaign against El-Sayed. The backdrop of this race, which will be one of the most closely watched races this November, is that this is a state that Donald Trump won. It's a swing state. Trump carried it by a point over Kamala Harris in 2024, and Democrats in nominating Abdul El-Sayed, a candidate who was backed by Bernie Sanders, who ran on certainly a far-left progressive platform. Can a candidate as far to the left as El-Sayed win a state like Michigan? We have seen a host of these left-wing candidates win primaries this year in deep blue districts, deep blue cities, where the general election is a foregone conclusion. It's not a foregone conclusion in Michigan. This will be a test. Can El-Sayed, can his ideology win in a state that went for Donald Trump by a point? Other major races here tonight in Michigan, the governor's race. Jocelyn Benson, the Secretary of State, she will be the Democratic candidate for governor, and she will be facing off, trying to succeed two-term Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who's not running for re-election. She will be facing off against John James. John James, a congressman from Macomb County, a Republican who ran with the endorsement of Donald Trump. He wins the Republican primary tonight over Perry Johnson. It will be James. It will be Benson. That will be the governor's race. In the congressional races, a significant result in Michigan's 7th district tonight here. William Lawrence, again, a progressive insurgent candidate, winning the nomination in this, a swing district that Donald Trump carried by a point in 2024. Lawrence wins this primary tonight and will face off in the fall against freshman Republican Tom Barrett. This is a congressional district version of the question that's been raised about El-Sayed in the Senate race. Can a candidate as far to the left as Lawrence win in a district that Donald Trump won by a point in 2024? So big, momentous results out of Michigan tonight that squarely put this state in the spotlight in November, both in terms of the Senate race, which will have massive implications for control of the United States Senate, and in this House race, which could have big complications, implications for control of the United States House of Representatives.
All right, so let me speak on this a little bit. The first things first is I know that it's a lot of Democrats that are excited about this. And so, for example, somebody like Treehouse is excited and he wants me to jump out the window. But I want to first remind people that this is a primary. So this was them running against themselves to try to figure out who's going to represent the Democrat Party in Michigan in several different races, which includes the governor, right? So the conversation is not about Republican versus Democrat. This is about Democrat versus establishment, right? This is about a socialist versus establishment Democrat. And if things are changing, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that, we we had this conversation yesterday, and I tried to mine this out on Room 9 and after hours, okay? So we getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting way ahead of ourselves, and I know y'all excited. I know that there's a lot of people that want to, make this a Republican versus Democrat thing. Well, that is coming. But the first thing that we need to have a conversation about is, what is the culture of what Democrats are trying to do, and is it working, and is it effective? Why? Because it's a reason why MAGA and Trump resonated with the right in the way that he did when he came through the door and he kicked it in 2015 and 16. This is the electrification that y'all need. This is the jump as a Democrat Party that y'all need. Because prior to Mom Donnie, and I will give Mom Donnie credit for this, Mom Donnie is the godfather of finessing the people into socialism and pushing more extreme left in order to try to galvanize the people that's within the Democratic Party. Somebody needed to come through the door unexpectedly, because everybody that the Democrats were picking that was a part of the establishment, people were rejecting. They didn't want Haley Stevens because, and I'm not going to say it's just because she got money from AIPAC. I think that the socialists actually, they promoted that in order to get her out of there. But people are less concerned with that, and I think that they're more concerned with two things. Getting something free from the government that resonates with Democrats, because the biggest thing that you got to figure out as a candidate is what resonates with your base. What resonates with your base? It's not even about what you're going to do. It's not even about what you can do. It's about who and what resonates with the base. You want me to tell you something else that plays a huge factor? The fact that we let all of these foreigners in this country, and I ain't even just talking about during the Biden administration, I'm talking about over the years. The fact that we never got control of illegal migration into this country is now starting to bear fruit and playing a huge role in what is happening in a lot of these races. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. If you notice, there are a lot of foreigners, a lot of people that are moving a certain type of way, and they making progress through these races. And it is a straight up impact from years and years and years, even before Biden, of neglect in this country that has allowed for us to basically be a melting pot instead of us being a culture in which we establish our norms and then everybody adapt to us. Socialism would be unthinkable in the 90s and the early 2000s. Unthinkable. It's a reason, think about it. It's a reason why Bernie Sanders never resonated enough to actually become the Democratic candidate for president. It's unthinkable. No way in the world. Bernie Sanders was always considered, and we're going to talk about him in a second. Bernie Sanders was always considered way too far left to ever be considered a real candidate for president. Now, it's not that far-fetched. He's just too old. It's not that far-fetched. He's just too old. The Democrat Party, and I'm going to say this also for the black people and the white people that's in the Democrat Party, the Democrat Party don't even represent your interests no more. You just a Democrat for the sake of being a Democrat. They don't even represent your interests. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask the black culture and the black community or something, right? When is the last time that they asked y'all what y'all wanted versus telling you what's best for you? When is the last time that anybody asked y'all, checked for, or was trying to figure out what is it that you need in order for you to be more successful in your communities? The Democrat Party has never been the party of black people. It is the party of others. And y'all don't even realize that y'all just a cog in the machine. You just a vote. They're not checking for you. They're not doing nothing for you. They're not trying to figure out what it is that you need. They don't even respect you. They brought in all of these people to not necessarily need you in order to continue to push forward. You're not even represented anymore. You're not represented. As a matter of fact, the things that y'all complain about in these forums and on YouTube is the very thing that is being implemented in the Republican Party. The first thing that y'all said was, we tired of foreigners coming over here taking our jobs. We tired of tethers. We tired of all of this. Y'all did all of that hate talk, and y'all stayed right there with them, and y'all allowed for them to basically bring people in here to replace you. Now, you are just basically a person of color. They don't even call y'all black no more unless they saying black fatigue, unless they add fatigue at the end of it. They don't even look at y'all and say, what are you going to do for black? They say, and you're not representing for the people of color. You are a part of it. You are not it. You are not the focus. You are not the foundation. You are nothing more than a mascot for the Democrat Party. I'm telling you. You know it. I don't even have to tell you. All I'm doing is saying a quiet part out loud. They're not checking for you. They're not caping for you. Even when it came to the only person that's left that's a part of that crew is Ilhan Omar, right? They don't even stump for y'all. The only squad member left is Ilhan Omar. They kicked all of y'all out. They got y'all up out of there. They got y'all up out of there. Quietly, not so quietly, they got y'all up out of there. And they didn't even have to hide it. Because they knew that you wasn't going to do anything about it. They didn't even have to hide it. The only squad member that's left, I believe, is Ilhan Omar. And she not even black. She not even black. Ain't that crazy? She don't even represent y'all. She don't stomp for y'all. She don't even say black people. She say people of color. Cori Bush, ain't that her name? She got beat. Got her ass kicked. Got her butt handed to her. Cori Bush, they wiped her off the map. Didn't even think twice about it. Got her up out of there ASAP. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a, because it's your birthday. And now y'all too prideful to actually come over to the, because you talk so negatively about the Republican Party. You don't even have a party no more. Ain't that crazy, to be honest with you? Black people don't have a party no more. I'm 100%. When y'all complain about Trump, They just be like, yeah, let them go over there and do what they got to do. They're going to be the sacrificial lamb. Y'all don't have a party. You got to have less concern. Nah, we not doing no music break right now. You should have less concern about Muslims and more concern about yourself. They pushed y'all out. You know where the black people are thriving at? In the Republican Party? John James. He running for governor. John James is running for governor, bro.
The results are still being counted in the biggest test yet for progressive Democrats as Michigan Senate candidates just come for Michigan's third comeback because
they want to keep
the major win for progressives. Sunrise Movement co-founder William Lawrence defeating Bridget Brink in the primary for Michigan's 7th district. It's on your screen. And look at this, DSA member Cori Bush.
They got y'all up out of there. They not messing with y'all black women. You gonna have no mustache, no beard, have the squiggly hairs in order for you to even be able to run as a Democrat against a Republican.
Don't call it a comeback because it clearly is not. She lost her comeback bid against incumbent Wesley Bell. To react to these results, founding partner of South and Hill Strategies, Colin Reed, joins me now. Colin, let's focus on the two in Michigan that are still too.
Got y'all up out of there ASAP. Got y'all up out of there.
Thank you for watching this special report, and more news is straight ahead on NBCNews.com and a complete wrap-up on today. All right, folks, if you're still there, thank you.
Hold on, let me see.
You want? Who belongs in it and who doesn't?
Anybody who wants to take on fascism, anybody who wants to get money out of politics, anybody who wants to fight for union rights, anybody who wants to make sure that people can live free with clean air and drink clean water, anybody who wants to guarantee health care, come on in, the water is fine. We want to build a broad coalition, but sometimes when the Democratic Party talks about a big tent, we push everybody into the corner and then go talk and pander to the corner. I'm just trying to bring everybody to the tent pole in the middle to talk about what we really need. We need good housing. We need good schools. We need health care. We need to know that our government works for us rather than the corporations who buy off politicians. We need to know that our money is going to be spent on us. And I think that can unite people independent of how they pray, who they love, how they identify, if they pray, where they come from in the state, the color of their skin, coming together to build something that we can only have together.
Do you get, well, is there...
He is very similar to Mom Donnie. I'm not even going to cap. Very similar. They talk fast. They talk clear. They try to unite everybody. And they cloak their socialism under the guise of, I just want to bring everybody together. And if these are the things that are meaningful to you, then you should be a part of this next movement that we have going on. Sounds just like Mom Donnie. Just like him.
Any group of people, any organization that's sort of a red line for you that says, no, you're not part of this, or that view is not part of the Democratic Party I'm hoping to sustain here in Michigan.
We're trying to define a viewpoint that's built on money out of politics, money in your pocket, Medicare for all. If you agree with those things, come join us. We're for civil liberties. We're for equal rights. We love and appreciate all people. And I want to build this movement, bringing people together around the things we need and deserve that we can have together if we fight for them.
Is the DSA part of the Democratic Party in Michigan?
I'm not DSA.
I know you're not.
But if folks from the DSA want to be part of the Democratic Party, I would imagine that anybody would want them there, right? Because you want voters. Like this idea that somehow we are going to win elections by pushing people out seems to me to be inconsistent with the way that democracy works. You want a coalition of all people. You know who else are going to be part of my coalition? 3-time Trump voters who want health care.
Ooh, he pushing. He pushing.
Who want to keep our money here at home.
And they're out there, yeah.
They're out there. I meet them at almost every event I go to. So we're building a big, broad coalition, truly a big tent of people that combines folks from DSA on one side, even if I'm not a socialist, and combines 3-time Trump voters, even if I've never voted for Donald Trump.
Are you concerned about being labeled a socialist?
I think that folks who come here, like with 2 weeks left in the election, really, really want to label me a socialist. I don't know why, except for maybe it fits into a nice telling of a broader national story. But I'm a scientist, right? And I like solutions that solve problems.
I'm not a rapper. I'm a gangster that just so happened to be rapping. I'm not a politician. I'm not your typical politician. I don't know why people keep trying to label me. Listen, I'm a scientist. I'm a doctor that just so happens to want change in our community. I'm not a part of the establishment. I'm an outsider looking to change what's inside. Oh, man. I'm an outsider.
That's the approach that I've always taken. I don't do ideology. I'd rather think of myself as a capitalist who actually read about capitalism, in the sense that the biggest risk to capitalism was always going to be corporate consolidation and monopoly rather than government regulation. In fact, you need some government regulation to make sure that capitalism runs well. I want to make sure that our capitalism is functional rather than allowing big corporations to buy politicians to rig the system against us.
I'm not a YouTuber, fam. I'm a businessman that just so happened to be on YouTube. Oh, bars. I'm not like y'all. I'm not a content creator. I'm a creator that just so happens to be doing content. Ooh, bars. Bars are something that you got to get used to. Because this is something that's new. And anytime you come into my sphere, then we might have to hit you with the voodoo. Ooh, wee. I think you don't know me, but you should have knew me. This is the new T. Forget the A-N. Add the D. Oh, did you get that, bro? He said this is the new T. That means he only going by time, not Anton. He said remove the A, N, and then add the D. Anton Daniels, Anton Dog. Ooh, I said this is the new me. The new T. Remove the A, N, add the D. Ooh. Oh my God. This dude is out here running circles. Oh man, y'all gonna get it. It's way over that went over your head, bro. That went over your head. It's like this, and you ducked, and it went way over your head. It's all the way on the TV. Run it back. Replay it. Replay it. Replay it. You got to run it back. Telling you, bro, he's spitting. That's not common. We don't like Chicago. That's not common. We cooking it up like we pour top ramen. Ooh. You spinning it up and you cooking it up like you pour top ramen while I'm rhyming. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is insane. He's not a politician, boy. He a scientist. He's trying to bring people together.
We're not a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. They did not endorse you. But we know that there are DSA members out there in this state right now campaigning on your behalf, handing out literature for you.
It's a big time, my friend.
Any concern, though, that they may be misrepresenting you?
No,
and
look,
casting you as one of them when you say you're not.
Why,
It's funny, right? Democrats are so concerned about what other people say about us. And I think we just need to be more concerned about what we say about the lives of Michiganders. I won't get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all. If you want to be part of that movement, whether you voted for Donald Trump 3 times or you are DSA, come join us.
That's who it is. That's the guy. He's the new guy in Michigan that's making waves. This is the new guy in Michigan that's making waves, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. You don't want to start spitting them bars. Is that something you got to deal with? Real spit. Oh my God. Shout out to Corey Bush. They said, nah, we don't really want you back here. No more victory speeches. No, none of that. Let me see what y'all talking about inside of the chat. Shout out to Jay Healing, says face with steam from nose. Oh, that's a super sticker. Shout out to my super sticker gang. TS says thoughts on MySpace comeback. Yeah, I seen that. I mean, I'll bring it up if y'all switch on want me to talk about it a little later in the show. Once we get to the money part. Reaction says dude talks just like Fidel and Chavez. Michael Delano says socialism stands on the mass graves of 100 million people and shrugs its shoulders and says it wasn't implemented properly. It does not work. It cannot work and should be avoided at all costs. And I 1000% agree with you. But people gonna find out. They gonna find out the hard way. I need to get my car back. I drove the Cybertruck today. I was in the Cyber Beast today. I want to revisit a conversation that I wasn't able to deep dive into yesterday. Because there was a lot of pushback on the panel. I'm not sure what I don't know. Okay, y'all, before I go into the next subject, what subjects would y'all like to cover on After Hours? I thought that we did a great job. We had it rocking last night on After Hours. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Which topics, because I always like to tap in with the people, which subjects and which topics do y'all want to tackle tonight on After Hours? This is an experimentation week. Testing some things out. Last night went incredible. But I want to see some things. Which topics do y'all want to tackle tonight on After Hours? Give me some feedback. Muslims moving in. Hold on, let me write that down. What else? Nah, Eric D. Bolts and hoes. Black community being authoritarian. That's a good one. What else? Perez Hilton streaming himself hurting himself. This is gonna be y'all show, so y'all better let me know. If women judge you off of the car you drive, that could be an icebreaker. Give me one more. I got one more, but we'll figure it out. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. We already talked about Brandon Tatum last night. Well, pretty eye. Hold on, wait. The pretty eyes. I don't see you with any suggestions, though. Listen, anybody can criticize. Very few people can actually approach a conversation from a solutions base. What I asked you, I didn't ask you what you didn't want to talk about. I asked you, what do you have as a suggestion? So don't tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like, and then we'll add it into the pot, and I'll look at it, and I'll try to figure out whether or not it's something that we want to have a conversation about. Very few people actually ask y'all for y'all feedback. So y'all have an opportunity to tell me what you do want to talk about. I don't want to hear about what you don't want to talk about. I'm not talking about Roland Martin. I can just tell you that right now. I already told y'all I'm not interested in exploring or going down a path of speculation about something and somebody's, whatever. I'm not getting into that, bro. I'm not talking about Roland Martin. Stay-at-home dads on the rise. Let's talk more about political topics. How we conservatives can pull our Democratic brothers and sisters over. All right. I'll add it into the topics. I'll look at it. All right. Got some things to look through. Talk about combining our military and Israel. Okay, but what would that be based off of? What would that be based off of? Stay-at-home dads on the rise? All right, I got enough ideas to look through. I want to go into this Bernie Sanders conversation that I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I want to deep dive into it a little bit more.
And joining me now is Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator Sanders, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good to be with you.
It's wonderful to have you back, particularly ahead of these big elections coming up on Tuesday. I do want to start, though, with the state of play for the Democratic Party. You really were one of the top people who brought democratic socialism into the mainstream, Senator. And a new poll finds that 1/3 of Democratic-leaning voters now identify as Democratic Socialists. And we've seen, quite frankly, Democratic Socialists win in primaries throughout this election cycle so far. But are you confident that Democratic Socialists can win in general elections in purple states?
Well, I am, but I'm mostly confident that the American people know that our country today is moving in a very, very bad direction. At a time when we have more income and wealth inequality than we've ever had in the history of America. What's going on now makes the Gilded Age of Rockefeller look like a egalitarian utopia. What's going on now is that millions of our people right now in the richest country on earth, they're struggling to put food on the table, pay for health care, pay for their rent, pay for their mortgage. You got half of older workers who have nothing in savings as they face retirement. You're seeing kids unable to afford to go to college in the richest country in the history of the world. So people all over America are looking around and saying, hey, wait a minute. The very richest people are becoming richer. Elon Musk himself, one man, owns more wealth by far than the bottom half of American households. What in God's name is going on? And people look at the Republican leadership and Donald Trump and they say, you know, this guy's worried about a reflecting pool. I can't afford my retirement. He's starting a war in Iran, costing us huge amounts of money, killing innocent people. 18 American servicemen are dead. What are they doing? And then you look at the Democratic Party leadership, which also gets their money, like the Republicans, from very wealthy people. And people are saying, is the Democratic leadership representing ordinary Americans? And I think as people look at the Republicans, they say, no, they're out of touch. Look at the Democratic leadership, say, no, they're out of touch. We need a government, a radical idea that works for all people and not just for wealthy campaign contributors. That's why from New York City with Mamdani and in Colorado and in California and in Montana, I think you're going to see it in Michigan, people are saying enough is enough. You know, let's get a government that represents all of us. And I got to tell you something, Kristen, that part of the exasperation that the American people are feeling, it's not just an economy which is rigged. They're looking at a corrupt, underlying corrupt campaign finance system. And what you're seeing in Michigan right now is AIPAC, other billionaire-funded super PACs putting tens and tens of millions of dollars against Abdul El-Sayed in Minnesota, against Peggy Flanagan, same thing. So you got billionaires buying elections, government working for the billionaires, and ordinary people saying, we want change. And that is why progressives, democratic socialists are doing so well all over this country. They got an agenda that speaks to the needs of working families. They're prepared to stand up to the oligarchs.
I think that people are inherently lazy. We've had it too good for too long, and that people are overly spoiled. Again, nobody told y'all that y'all had to have a bunch of credit cards. Nobody told y'all that y'all had to go out there and take out a bunch of student loans. Y'all not pushing community college. Y'all not pushing in-state tuition. Y'all not pushing people going out and getting in trades and stuff like that. People keep on making out these overly non-well thought out assumptions about how people are living their lives. And if you actually go and talk to most people, it's BS. It's BS. And I was saying this yesterday, that I find it mighty rich super mighty rich when I say stuff like, yo, I'm hiring, or I want to do this and I want to do that. But do you know one of the first comments that I read when I came into this show today was somebody was talking about what I said yesterday, a conversation that we had yesterday, and they wanted to show me or prove to me that making $100,000 a year as a YouTuber's cameraman was not out of touch. Y'all lifestyles is messed up. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all lifestyles are messed up. And when I started breaking this down yesterday, they kind of stopped me. All of y'all got $2,000 phones. All of y'all got $1,000 car notes, and that ain't including the insurance or the gas or the maintenance. Everybody got to have a dream destination wedding so that they can prove to their friends and their family that they did it big. I don't know anybody that's not on Instagram, even if you're just lurking. Most of the people that I see walking around out here got on $1,000 shoes. Airports is full. Let's keep it real. A lot of y'all got expensive habits. Yes. Listen, I remember when they used to complain about the cost of cigarettes. What? I don't remember the prices. $11 for a pack of cigarettes is crazy. People go out and they buy an ounce of the ooh-wee. They go out and they buy an ounce of the ooh-wee. And that ounce don't even last them a half a week. They rolling up that night and they smoking out. Why is it that when I see a lot of guys in person that talk about how they ain't got no money, they always got habits? You can do what you want to do. I don't care if you smoke. I don't care what you do. But what I am saying is those are expensive habits. Those are expensive habits. I don't think that poor people should be able to smoke the ooh-wee. I don't think that poor people should be able to smoke the ooh-wee. What you mean, who got gas? And I ain't talking about the gas that come out the back. I'm talking about gas. What, man, y'all smoking on that Reggie, man? You ain't got no gas. How you smoking and you broke? How you smoking and you broke? You can't be a smoker and broke. When I go to the corner store, because I'll usually leave here at some point out the day because I'm like, man, I got to take a break. I got to get some fresh air. I got to go outside, whatever, right? And when I stop at the store, OG and them, they not even lying no more. They not even saying, hey, man, can I get something to eat? Dog said to me the other day, he said, let's try and get something to drink, making it through the day. Hey, nephew. Oh, you got another car? Oh, my. Hey, nephew, let me hold something. Oh, OG, I just gave you something earlier today. I know. I'm just trying to get through the day. I just want to go and get me another drink. And I said, dang, y'all ain't even going to lie to me. You ain't even going to lie to me? Oh, all right, here you go, bro. Here's a fireball. Go do your thing, bro. Real talk. People got habits and they don't want to remove that from their lifestyle. They ordering DoorDash. They doing Instacart. Yo, I went grocery shopping the other. I've been doing a lot of pedestrian. I've been getting reacquainted with life, right? I went to the car wash the other day and I washed my car. I did the hand wash. I mean, not the hand wash, the do it yourself. I went to the car wash the other day. I went to the grocery store. And so I went through and I was looking and I said, and I thought to myself, why are people lying and saying that they only got 4 items for $100? What the hell is in this store that is $25 per item? Honestly, I said, what the hell is in this store that costs $25 per item? Now, if you're getting big items, bulk items, toilet paper, stuff like that, meat for the deep freezer, long term. I went into the grocery store the other day and I said, why is people acting like it costs a whole lot of money to feed yourself? The banana was like, 40 cents, 35 cents? The banana was like $4.30, whatever it was. It was less than $1. Bananas. I'm like, okay, cool. Give me a banana or 3. What do you mean? This ain't expensive? The banana was it was cheap. I don't even think you got to go to Aldi. You can go to the regular store. Potatoes, spinach, all of it was right there. All of it was right there. Now we even got more access to go farm to table. You can literally go straight and order it straight from the farm. Eggs, cheap. Cheese, cheap. Bread, cheap. All of the basics was cheap. All of the basics was cheap. All of them. All of the basics was cheap. And I said, so what is people complaining about? And then here's the kicker. When I got up to the counter to pay, the two people ahead of me, the two women ahead of me, they paid with food stamps. And they had a whole basket full of stuff. I said, what in the world? I said, no way. Paid with food stamps and then went and got in a luxury cars. One of the girls had a Lexus and the other one was jumping the Audi, and they paid with food stamps. I kid you not. And they paid with the stamps. Fresh to death. They had their baby hairs popping. Paid with the stamps, went and got in their luxury vehicles, and was looking bougie and if a guy come and talk to me, he gonna have to have some money. They was looking just like that. They was looking like one of them chicks that be online and saying, if you don't have more than me, then you can't talk to me. And to jump online in a minute and tell you about how it is that they feeling like they crunched. I don't know what's going on. What's happening out here?
Let's talk about Michigan. You raised it. Your endorsed candidate, Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, is running against Congresswoman Haley Stevens. She is backed by much of the Democratic establishment that you're talking about, Senator. How confident are you that he's going to win on Tuesday?
Hold on. Before we get back to Bernie Sanders, let me say this. I think that if I ever got back into the dating market, I would be cooked. The poor hoes act expensive now. Listen, bro, the poor women is acting extra inexpensive. You can't even get you a basic chick that ain't got no money. They acting like, oh man, the price of the brick then went up.
Look, he has taken on, I've never, I'm not a political scientist. I cannot recall where a major candidate was outspent so much by super PACs. I mean, they're spending tens and tens of millions of dollars against them. The polling recently looks good, but polls don't win elections, people do. So I would hope that in Michigan and later next week.
Isaiah, you got to get you a chick that do DoorDash, bro. Yeah, man. Got to get you a DoorDash chick. A chick that is really trying to make it, but she's still struggling, and she ain't got enough. She just ain't got. She this far from being able to get off paycheck to paycheck, but she's still tired. That's the type of girl you got to get. You got to get a chick, and you can only probably keep her for maybe 9 to 12 months. Because if you keep her for any longer than 9 to 12 months, she's gonna get used to what you do. And she's going to start raising her standards to where her level of appreciation for what you do is going to start going out the window, because this is going to be becoming normal for her, right? So you can only keep her for like 6 to 9 months, maybe 9 to 12 months. Then she's going to become somebody else's problem, because the first thing that she's going to do is she's going to hop online and she's going to get on TikTok and she's going to say, these new guys, I don't know what's wrong with them. This ain't what I'm used to. I'm used to a guy that take care of everything. And we're all the real me in that. Because you're going to ruin her, right? The guy that was in my last relationship, you know, I didn't have to reach in my purse. I don't even remember the last time I bought last time I brought a purse is the one that he bought for me when we went to the store, because I said that I didn't have a purse. And so then they gonna change they perspective and they all of that. And then so that's gonna be another man's problem by that point, though. By that point, it's gonna be a whole nother guy's problem. And you're not gonna have to worry about that no more. So keeping it 100 with you. Keeping it 100 with you. Where the real man at? Chivalry is dead in the black community with black men because, and she gonna get her a guy too. She gonna get some sucker gonna come along and want to meet the expectation. Even with Young Miami, if you look at Young Miami, Young Miami is a baby mama. I'm not saying that, Osriel. I'm not telling guys to run chase. What I'm saying is women evolve quickly. They adapt to their circumstances. They're very good. They're reptilian. And when they adapt, they don't know how to dial it back based off of their circumstances. So what they do is they then get on the internet and they say, I'm going to struggle by myself. Because they forget that they was poor before they met you. They forget that they poor before they was meeting you. So what they do is they adapt to their circumstances. It take them about 6 to 9 months to start losing appreciation. Then that's when you got to have a conversation with them. Hey, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. What do you mean, let's take a break? You know what? Because you're different. I'm not different. You different. You know what? Don't worry about it. You got it.
In Minnesota, people understand the importance of this election. What's it about? It's not just whether Abdul can win or not beat Haley Stevens. The question is whether or not we live in a democratic society where a candidate fighting for working people can take on tens and tens of millions of dollars of AIPAC money, special interest money. And I hope very much that Abdul wins. And I'll tell you why, in a kind of selfish reason. Everybody in America understands that our current healthcare system is totally broken. We're spending unbelievable amounts of money, twice as much per capita as the people of any other country. 85.
No, I know, Hustle, because they do. They forget that they was poor. For some reason, they think that your lifestyle now is their lifestyle. No, your lifestyle is an extension of my lifestyle when you're with me. But I don't want you to forget that you're poor. Hey, Aaron, then they get on the internet and they say stuff like, see, girls, that's why you got to get your own money. Because when you a stay-at-home girlfriend, girl, you was never a stay-at-home girlfriend. Because when you a stay-at-home girlfriend, not the same guy again. Because when you a stay-at-home girlfriend, they'll leave you high and dry if things don't work out. So now you got to go and get your own money. You got to become a CNA. You got to become an RN. You got to go and start your own business. You need to go and get your education. You need to start having these own conversations. Like, what? You didn't have your own money before I met you. Yay!
5 million uninsured, underinsured, prices way high. Dr. El-Sayed is somebody I need in the Senate as he fights for Medicare for all. He's a doctor. He has seen the broken healthcare system. We need him to make sure that every man, woman, and child in this country has healthcare as a human right, as is the case in every other major country on earth.
Well, and as you know, Senator, it is going to be very hard for Democrats to win back the Senate if they do not win the state of Michigan. This is Senator Gary Peters' seat that we're talking about. He's backing Haley Stevens.
Yep.
He argued that she's the more electable candidate. Here's what he said, Senator. You have to have a candidate who understands that winning a general election doesn't mean just turning out Democrats. You also have to appeal to a broader cross-section of your state. And Michigan is a true purple state. What do you think Dr. El-Sayed will have to do in order to turn out moderates and independents to win a general election if he does win on Tuesday?
I can't, you know what? It's
Well,
hard.
Gary-
It's harder for me to do voices when I don't have my voice back. So I don't want to rob y'all of the opportunity of doing Bernie Sanders.
Makes a good point. And the reason I think that Dr. El-Sayed will win in Michigan is that if you're a working class Republican, you know what? You can't afford health care. You know the system is broken. You are struggling to figure out how you're going to retire with dignity. You understand that the current campaign finance system.
What does that mean, retire with dignity? I don't even know what that means. These Democrat terms are so dumb.
Is broken. You understand that workers need decent wages, and El-Sayed is fighting for a livable minimum wage. And by the way, if you're a Republican, you know, maybe we should be investing our money into Michigan, into Vermont, into America, rather than giving the extremist government of Netanyahu in Israel tens of billions of dollars to continue their atrocities against the Palestinian people.
You take me to my next question. Yeah.
I think if you're a working class, Republican in Michigan, I think you're going to listen to what El-Sayed says. And I think many of them will end up voting for him. Independents as well, of course.
Okay, and I want to follow up on what you just said. Dr. El-Sayed has made Israel a central issue in his primary. He said he, quote, often struggles with the question of whether Israel has the right to exist as a Jewish state. In the past, Senator, you have been quite clear that you do support Israel as a Jewish state. Should Dr. El-Sayed speak with the same clarity?
Look, I think right now the immediate issue of the moment is whether or not we continue to put tens of billions of dollars into the extremist Netanyahu government, which has killed 75,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, wounded 150,000, destroyed their infrastructure. And what the American people are saying, overwhelmingly Democrats, many independents, the majority of them, and many Republicans, especially younger Republicans, we got better things to do with our money than to continue to.
Let me ask y'all a question really quickly, and this is a genuine question. This is not rhetorical. This is something that I'm looking for insight into. We never talked about Israel this much, and this has never been a big topic of conversation prior to maybe 8 years ago, as far as I know. And now it is a major topic of conversation, even to the point to where people are running on the issue of Israel. When did Israel become such a major topic for us here in the U.S., for most people? Is it during the explosion of the social media era? Is it specific presidents? Is it what? When did Israel become such a big topic of conversation? I have a theory. And my theory is with more people coming into this country, it becomes more of a pronounced issue for people to start talking about. When did Israel become such a major hot topic of conversation here in the U.S.? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Do y'all want to do a music break or y'all want to keep rocking? Music break or keep rocking? A lot of people saying keep rocking. Some people saying music break. All right. I guess it is. It is what it is. Keep rocking. I want to get over to the more money-related, entertainment-related conversations, and I think these guys have figured it out. Objectively speaking, I think these guys are figured it out. And what am I talking about? I'm speaking about the Speakeasy platform, okay? So obviously, some of you that have been with me for a while, and I'm going to read Super Chat shortly, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. A lot of y'all have seen me cover this. I think I covered it last week, of Emmanuel Acho, which is the guy that's in the cream/white shirt, speaking about how he was able to acquire this platform, rebranded into Speakeasy with more than 2 million subscribers. And this was a platform that both Skip and Shannon built when they was on Fox with Undisputed, okay? But these guys also are beefing with a lot of people. To be honest with y'all, it seems like everybody that is in the sports sector nowadays are starting to beef with other people. But Shannon Sharpe, Ocho Cinco, and Joe Johnson spoke about these guys, and this is what they had to say. All right?
I don't know what Nightcap said. Oh wow. You know, I stayed locked in.
Let me stop for a second first. Before I even get into this conversation, I think it's very disingenuous for people to say that they don't know what somebody said when they know that they're about to cover them. I objectively broke down what Emmanuel Acho was saying, what people were saying about the Speakeasy platform, what his response was, and all of that. Every time that we do a video, and lately we've been doing a lot because they figured it out. They figured out how to stay in the algorithm. They figured out how to get people to continue to talk about them. Every time somebody says something, somebody says, I don't know what they said about me, but they're about to cover it. Come on, man. Stop, bro. Stop. Y'all be knowing. Y'all be knowing. Y'all Google yourselves. Y'all put yourselves in the search bar on YouTube. You're trying to see what people saying. Once people send it to you, you don't wait until you get to the show to start looking at it. No, y'all be knowing. And if you didn't watch it directly, then somebody told you, or somebody said this is what they said about you. Every time. Every time. I was watching nothing that nobody was saying about me, and I had to literally tell people to stop telling me what other people were saying about me so that I could focus on the thing that I was focused on. But let me tell you, everybody couldn't wait to come up in my comments, whatever it was that we was on, regularly. People couldn't wait to come up to me and say, this is what this person said about you. This is what this person said about you. This is what this person said about you. I had to train the people that are around me in real life not to tell me stuff about what other people is talking about. People be knowing. What did they say? I didn't hear anything about it. What they say something about me?
Tongue and groove with the chat. All right. We like this. And it was brought to my attention that another show that runs concurrently at the same time as we run, they were asked a question in their chat. And it was read by the host of that show.
Oh, they do the same thing with chat stuff too?
No, they don't do the same thing.
Oh,
because the person that reads, I'm not even going to get into that. They read a chat that said something along the lines of, when y'all was dark and took a vacation, and we can go ahead and roll the clip for the rest of the video.
Numbers they never seen before. Keep y'all foot on their neck, Big Three. They know what time it is. They already know who we are. They know what we do. And that was happy. They got. Hey, we give them a little shine. We let the sun shine on them a little bit. But that's guess what? We come back out, shade. They'll die off again.
We did our restitution.
Hey, Hey, I ain't even say nothing.
What?
I could have said something. You know, we was all.
Yeah.
I could have chimed in,
They
but I
want
ain't
to.
want to.
I ain't got no for bro. But they already know.
Hey, most of the time, Uncle Joe, you know I like to go.
1 billion
I like to go
views.
back and forth.
Organically, 2 million subs. I ain't no squatter. I ain't moving to somebody's house I didn't pay for until I get my house. I've been here for 30 days.
They taking big shots.
Huh?
All right, now.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's one thing we not. We not squatters. Take it how you want to.
Yeah.
That's it. That was.
Squatters is crazy. Squatters is crazy.
It's not even crazy. It's just inaccurate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Squatter is just inaccurate because squatter is to assume like you gonna get it back. Squatter is like a squatter.
I'm not sure. You're not getting it back.
You're not getting this channel
You've
back.
been scammed, brother. There's no return policy on this. Call me back.
A squatter is you left the crib.
I'm not getting to get back. I'm fine.
A squatter is you left the crib. I'm in your crib. When you come back, you getting your crib back.
Yeah.
You not getting this crib back.
All sales are final. Ain't no receipts.
I'm taking this crib.
Snatch your chain, boy.
Yeah. And I'm going with this crib,
It's
Shannon.
over with. It's
I
over
done
with.
took the channel and I'm running with it.
Oh wow.
And honestly, Shannon, you make the mistake of letting Fox keep it in the first place, bruh. Like hey, that was your L. You should when you left, you should have been like, hey, bruh, I built this. I'm taking it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how. I'm sitting here.
Shay, you said they open palm. They see you though.
I'm just trying to feel like how should I take that? You know what I mean? Because I know this podcast stuff is like fake beef and all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'm
ain't
trying
nobody really.
I don't know though, cause I just I don't know. I'm an alpha. I'm a dog.
Yeah,
on
big
any
dog.
platform. You know what I'm saying?
Big dog.
And like I don't know. I don't know how to take that. So I guess can I say it one more time? It's eat me up.
Yeah,
a
run it
little
back,
bit.
run it back.
I eat me up a little bit. Pause. You know what I mean?
Run it back.
Run it back.
So wait, did the question? Did they say the question?
Keep y'all foot on their neck, Big
Nah, I
Three.
don't think they recorded.
Hello, time it is. They already know who we are. They know what we do. And that was happening. They got. Hey, we give them a little shine. We let the sun shine on them a little bit. But that's guess what? We come back out, shade.
Hey.
They'll die off again.
Hey. Hey, I ain't even say nothing.
You know what? You can stop it.
I could have said
You
something.
kill it, stop it, because I don't want to get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because I this is a lot. I'm into like these type of like jokes and you know what I mean? Because like they saying this, that's cool. And I might say shit back. So I'm I don't have nothing to say. Basically. Because I mean like it's I be thinking like what we doing?
Is Shannon the Q?
Nah.
Man, Shannon's
Okay, he just got a black Israelite shirt.
Now, I mean, look, the only thing I don't get is like, since when do we praise ignorance? What I mean, ignorance would be, hey, there's a channel with all these subscribers that's gonna sit dormant. Don't take it. Or good business is, there's a channel with all these subscribers that's finna sit dormant. You worked on the show last. Take it. Like, I don't get, since when do we like, good business is good business regardless of the business.
Yeah.
Listen. I don't know what you can say about Shannon Sharpe at all. Shannon Sharpe, in essence, built the very platform that you're on, and then he built another one, and then he built another one right after that. Listen, let's give Shannon Sharpe his flowers right away. All right. 2 years ago, Shannon Sharpe, and it still hasn't been topped to this day. I haven't seen anybody do a bigger interview than Shannon Sharpe than he did with Cat Williams. Shannon Sharpe couldn't miss. He couldn't miss on Club Shay Shay. He couldn't miss when it came to Undisputed. He couldn't miss on anything. Real talk. Keeping it 100. Even his liquor was good. So one of the ladies that's inside of the chat sent me, if y'all can send me some more of the Le Portier, that junk, even everybody that tasted it was good. Shannon Sharpe on Real Talk. All jokes aside, removing our bias, if we just keeping it 100%, Shannon Sharpe built multiple different platforms. And see, it's one thing to build up. It's hard. A lot of people don't understand. It is incredibly hard, incredibly difficult to build a platform from scratch. And I'm not saying that they didn't do a good business move by taking over the platform. I think that they did the right thing. I already covered that. I think that they did the right thing by negotiating it and leapfrogging off of it. But you also got to give credit where credit is due. When you're standing on the shoulders of the person that built the platform, how can you talk negatively about them? When you're standing on the shoulders of the person that got more than 2 million subscribers for the platform that you are leveraging, how can you disrespect them? How can you talk negatively about them? That's the part that I don't understand. When he said, man, I might get disrespectful, what are you talking about? Why would you get disrespectful towards a person that basically gave you the alley-oop? Shannon basically gave y'all the alley-oop. And it wasn't Skip, because Skip couldn't do it again. I'm going to keep it 100. If you go to Skip Bayless's channel, dead. Dead in the water. Skip can't duplicate that. Skip was a good co-host. Skip was the co-host. Shannon was the main attraction. Whatever Shannon is touching, even to this point, to this day, you can't take away the fact that he built them from scratch, and he also built the thing that you sitting in. I don't get it. I would never have anything. If I'm on the platform that somebody else built, and I'm leveraging it and capitalizing off of it, which is also good business, how can I also talk negatively about the person that set the foundation that allowed for me to even be able to exist in this space? And it's incredibly hard. It's incredible. I'm thinking about doing it a fourth time, actually, and going to get another plaque. I'm thinking about doing it a fourth time, actually, maybe even a fifth time, because me and my daughter was thinking about doing some stuff. And then I'm thinking about taking the other platform that I built and running that up. So I don't know, man. I don't know what that is, but it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of grind. It's a lot of all of that. But I don't know how you can talk negatively about a person that basically built the house that you live in.
I'm in the business of doing good business. So if you
that's fair,
get fired from Fox before I did, and I had the foresight to say, okay, I'm gonna move into that slot, and then I'm gonna take that channel, that's just good business. Now, with that being said, they know who we are. Absolutely, they Coke, we Pepsi. I'm cool being Pepsi right now. But the rule number one for Coke, don't ever shoot at Pepsi. You're Coke.
What?
So the fact that we got y'all attention,
yeah,
kind of doing something right.
Yeah.
Furthermore, also, y'all make too much money and are too high quality of a product for your quality of your product to be so low. So like, if we also just being honest, raise your standards, bro. Your viewers deserve it. Your viewers deserve better. Y'all deserve better. Like, raise the standards and build out a studio space. All that money y'all got, build out a studio space. Make a better product.
And build it organically, by hand. Your damn self.
That part.
Don't have nobody else build y'all studio.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Nah, let me say this also. As a person that has built my own studios with an S, and I have multiple different sets with an S, and I do more views. I think that the views that everybody is doing is cute, but I'm well over 1 billion views and whatever, right? You don't always, you have to be careful with doing certain things and playing it a certain way. Because you don't want to increase your expenses, nor do you want to be tied to something in particular that you can't. Like I'll give you all an example, right? Because I'm able to speak about this extensively because, you know, I've done a lot of things in the content creation space. I thought about doing the Room 9 show in person, right? Basically, and that would allow for me to be able to create a higher quality product, spend more money, but then I would have to bring everybody in together, and then that may upend their lives and all of this type of stuff, and it's just not feasible. It's a much easier way for us to leverage and use technology to do things just as productive. And I studied the game. I studied different platforms. I studied CNN. I studied MSNBC. I studied Fox News. They don't, especially for a person that runs multiple different platforms, and, you know, a lot of times y'all mobile, he in one space, you in one space, they in one space. It don't always make sense. And what I see other people do a lot of times is they patch them in. It's not just expensive to build the studio, Eric D. It's expensive to do the logistics around a studio. Honestly, to bring people in from different parts of the country on a regular basis to shoot 3 times or whatever every day, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot to do. And so when you go on Fox, right, or you go on these other platforms, you go in, they patch you in, and, you know, they tell you what to wear or whatever, however it is you got to do. And then they run, and then y'all do y'all thing. And so they're leveraging technology. And I'm not saying that you can't have a studio if you don't want it. But what I am saying is it doesn't always make sense. And sometimes you got to look at it, if you are a business person, of whether or not you're going to do great things, right? If you're doing 20,000 people that's watching you at night, 20,000 people are watching you at night and it's working, you don't always have to break something that's already working. You don't always have to break something that's already working.
Block them hours. Don't hire no carpenters. Y'all build the shit
with your bare hands.
Who is these other guys on here talking? These guys that's on the left and the right. Who are these guys? You know, sometimes I think that, like, why is he talking like they've been able to do something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let Emmanuel Acho be the spokesperson and be able to say something. Who are these other guys that's talking tough? Who are the other guys? And you got to build it with your own hands or hey, man, calm down, bro. Calm down, little homie. Let's not get out of line. All right? Stay in line, stay in order. You can't let co-hosts say stuff and just get wild and out of order and out of pocket. Like, hold on, homie. Let's stay in our lane. Who are these other guys? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's like, hold on, bro. All right, I'll go back and forth with you, but who is this nigga? I don't know their names. So I'm assuming that Shannon probably don't know their names. You got to let the two main people, get their rocks off and go back and forth. But you can't hold on, bro. Hold on, man. Who was that? I'm sorry. Man, chill out, bro. He's getting, look at this. Look at all of this extraness.
Y'all build the shit
with your bare hands.
There's nothing more annoying than a little dog trying to be the big dog, talking to the big dogs, the bigger dogs. Keep it at 100. You know what's so annoying sometimes as a big dog is having to deal with the little dogs that's still talking to the big dog. And it's like, hey man, muzzle your dog, bro. Cause you don't want to really deal with them the way that you can deal with them, because it's like, I'm too big to be sitting here going back and forth with the little dogs. And it don't benefit me, so I kind of got to let them bark. Because if I bite their head off, then they going to benefit from it. Chill out, bro. Let the other guys speak, man.
That's all I got to say. No, but all love to the show.
Really
all love to the show.
Really like, I'm not sitting here saying that. Bro, what Nightcap did and created is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's what they did and what they created. It actually is incredible. What Shannon has built is incredible. Chad is hilarious, and whenever I see Chad, it's always love. Joe is growing and blossoming. Like it's what they
just hosted a whole week by himself.
No, what they did,
just him and guests.
What they did is incredible, and I will gladly
take their channel.
Gladly take their channel.
Gladly take
with
their
no
channel.
remorse.
Yeah. No. Let us know if you want to give up that channel. I'll gladly. I'll try to take it afterwards.
Why is the other guy speaking? Why is these other guys talking right now? What are we doing? What are you talking about? Man, let me know if you could take that other... Man, hold on, bro. Shh. Shh. Shh.
Like, I think all of us here and anywhere else can agree that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll just speak for myself. I'm not in the business of blocking blessings.
Never.
If a blessing falls in your lap, I'm receiving it with both hands.
What?
Hey!
Who's the owner of the platform?
If the blessing falls in my lap, I'm receiving it with
it might have been
with both.
You on the run, man. It was getting kind of wholesome, and then you just went fully.
That was fully.
That was crazy.
What though? I mean that.
That was crazy.
Man. Whatever.
I mean, Kieran, did you have any thoughts?
No,
But here's the other thing. Respectfully, let me say this. Because now I've given them their credit. I've given them their just due. What Nightcap did, Shannon, Ocho, what y'all did, getting to the market first, it is incredible. Like that is brilliant.
That's a shot. It's a shot. Because they trying to make it seem, what y'all did and getting to the market first, that was incredible. See, they're not trying to give them their props and being successful and being great at what they do. He's trying to diminish how great they've been by saying that the only reason, he's implying, without saying it out loud, that the only reason that they're as good as what they are is because they got to the market first. Again, we have to remember that he's did it multiple different times on multiple different platforms, including on the platform that you're standing on the shoulders of. You can't limit somebody's greatness by trying to underhandedly talk negative about them while trying to, at the same time, acting like you're giving them props. These are the type of people that y'all got to be careful of, yo.
We are absolutely a better show. We're a better produced show. We are a more invested show. We're actually in studio. We talk to our audience. We engage our audience. We commit more to the show. We don't do the show from hotel rooms. We actually read the super chats in real time. We have more than just one-shot camera angles. We can actually do a 3-shot. So shout out to y'all for being the BlackBerry, but the iPhone is coming. So the BlackBerry, shout out. BlackBerry had a place.
And time.
Just know.
About the flip phone. Or not flip
phone.
That Nokia.
No,
shout out to Nokia. Razor?
No.
Sidekick. Shout out to the Sidekick. Nightcap.
You a Samsung Voyager.
Shout out to it. Just know.
It's so annoying.
Just know.
The Glide, you remember that?
Yeah.
The iPhone.
Yeah.
The iPhone is coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
They well said.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go. Oh, also, if y'all just new here, hit the subscribe button.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Because we got to grow these GMO followers. these, we
GMO
gotta grow these GMO followers, these pesticide followers.
Yeah, come on now.
Monsanto followers, we need y'all.
We need these Tyson Chicken subscribers to go ahead and get this going today.
So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, hit the like button, push us further into the chat, and let Nightcap know the iPhone is coming. Look, you made it.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, shout out to them. I think that the one thing that clout chasers a lot of times revel in is eventually getting you to acknowledge their clout, right? One thing that I have been a lot more careful about is to not fall into the trap, or when I recognize that there's a trap for clout chasers, to limit my exposure to it and don't even feed into it. I don't even feel like I need to win an argument no more. I feel like the more that I give visibility to people that are clout chasing, the more I'm actually helping them, honestly. And so in this instance, I think that Speakeasy accomplished what they came to accomplish in getting Shannon Sharpe and Ocho and Joe Johnson on Nightcap to acknowledge them. Because it got people talking. It got them in the algorithm. It doesn't matter how corny you think that they are, Fa. The fact of the matter is, when you're the number 2, the best thing that you can do is to get number 1 to mention you, to give you more visibility. And so you have to be careful, even when it seemed like, man, I can go off on these dudes, I can set them straight, I can win this conversation, I can win this battle, or whatever. The biggest thing that you have to do, I'm trying to give y'all life lessons right now, is to walk away from the clout. It may, you know who you are, you can turn up, you can win the conversation, you can go even lower than they went, all of that stuff. But the biggest form of discipline is to stay focused on what you focused on when it doesn't benefit you, to focus on things that everybody else is trying to get you to talk about. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The only time that you shoot is when it's worth it for you to shoot. I've been trying to teach y'all this lesson for a long time. Some people let their ego get in the way of them. Some people let their ego prevent them from being able to understand and really leverage this. You don't waste ammo unless it actually makes sense for you to shoot. When you spend time putting out and stomping on or addressing things that will not benefit you, in the end, you be thinking to yourself, why did I even get at any visibility? Why did I even entertain this in the first place? It's gotta be beneficial to you. Everything that you do has to be a chess move. And he's smart, Eric D. He said Acho is playing an algorithm game, and he's smart. He's doing it. The more that y'all get online and y'all say stuff like, oh man, they corny, or oh man this and oh man that, man, I don't like it. It works. It works. He got them to say something so that he can then respond and then put them on the thumbnail so that he can try to get more visibility on something that never probably should have said anything in the first place. The biggest and the most difficult thing for people to do is to maintain frame and to stay in what it is. Listen. You're missing it, Gunplay. You said, look at Nightcap's views and look at theirs. It doesn't matter. That's my whole point, is that when you top dog, you pick and choose the people that you want to give visibility to very carefully. You don't want to give anybody any additional boost, especially when it doesn't benefit you. You want to allow for other people to talk about you and to put you in the algorithm. You don't want to do them a favor and put them in the algorithm. If I mention you on my big channel and I put your name all in the algorithm and I get a bunch of views, people are going to try to figure out what the heck is going on. Now you got motion. Let them do what they do. What's going to happen in a week, 2 weeks of you not responding? Nothing. And whatever it was that they was trying to bait you with, you move on. I've been saying this a long time. In a week or two, whatever the issue is that people think is the big deal at the time, oh man, you ain't respond. I can't believe it. It'll be dead in 2 weeks. It'll be dead in 2 weeks. And then you got to go back to being whatever it is that you're going to be. And you got to try to figure it out. And I'm going to go back to continuing to win and building up this platform and being successful. Why would I want to give my op more visibility? Why would I want to give my op more visibility? Because it's ego. Our ego gets in the way of making a smart and wise decision. And so we got to get at him. We got to get at him. I told my daughter that the other day. We was talking and she was like, yo, this person has so much to say and we grew up together and I can't believe it. Dad, it got to be up. I said, no. I said, for what? Because it pissed me off. I said, but listen. I said, you the A side. I said, look at your life. And then I named off all of this different stuff that she had going and all of the motion that she got going off for. And I said, now why would you want to put yourself in a position to where you give somebody more visibility when you got all of the motion? Or you give them an opportunity to feel good about themselves because all they've been trying to do is get your attention the whole time? That's why they're mentioning you. I said, you act like they don't exist. They don't exist to you. I said, now take a nap. So she go to sleep. She take a nap. She wake up. She was like, man, you was right. I'm glad that I ain't. And I said that I'm glad that I'm able to tell you and teach you something that I had to learn the hard way as I was growing up. I wanted to crash out on everybody and anybody that pissed me off when I was your age, 18, 19, 20 years old. Oh, okay, what up? We got to think. We got to think. Life is a chess game. It is not Battleship. It's not. It's a thinking man's game. Every single thing you do is a chess move. And you got to set the pieces in place and put the pieces in place. You can't sit there and play somebody else's game. You got to play your game the way that you're going to play it. And anytime that you do something, it has to be calculated. It has to be well thought out. And you have to stop letting your ego and your emotions and how you feel dictate what you're going to do. Sit down, think it through, take a step back, don't make any impulse decisions, regardless of how you feel at the time, and you move accordingly. Everybody got emotions. Everybody has emotions. How you react to it is going to be the determining factor for whether or not you can control yourself and be successful. And people be jumping off the bridge, all in your comments. Oh, man, I know you're going to say this. Oh, man, I know you. And you just be sitting there because you talked about it the night before. And you're like, yeah, how about we play it this way? Literally, I'll be sitting there with my people. And I be thinking, and we be figuring it out and be like, yeah, but if I do this, and we play every scenario, try to play it 10 steps ahead in real time. And we say, but if I do this, and what if this happened and how is this going to play out? But if I play it this way, how is this going to play out? All right, so wait a minute. So let's lay all of our options out on the table. We spend about 5-7 minutes talking about whatever it is that we're going to do, and then we execute. And we execute. We don't make impulse decisions. I talk to people. I get different people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? I ask them what it is that they think, and then we figure it out. Figure it out. And that's how you win in life. Everybody that moved from an impulse perspective always lived to regret it. Every time. Crown Me says, y'all tripping. I wish I could take naps. Listen, sometimes you ain't got no choice. Sometimes I force myself. And I be like, you know what? F this video, F this. I need to take a nap so that I can think clearly. But shout out to them, though. Shout out to them for executing on the strategy. I think that they doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Amari says, AD, did you hear about the New York City detective that doing a drive-by with her son? Yep, we covered it earlier in the show. It was like the second thing that we talked about. It's earlier in the show. I'll throw the timestamps up for you. Mr. Bogart says, how Tether's immigrants are weaving their way into our politics, not in our best interest. Because they playing chess and y'all playing checkers. Dark City A&T with the 2-ball says, father 46, son 14, double pew pew, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Email it to me. D Lawn Rock says, hey, Anton, I sent an email about the job you posted a while back. I seen that you recently spoke on it in a recent video and wanted to know if I resend. I fit all of the qualifications and resend it if it's open. Now, I don't have any positions per se open right now. I'm going to leverage some people that's already on my team to do a little bit more, and then we're going to figure it out from there. Wesley Turner says the Anton Daniels channel is almost at 1.5 million. Let me see. That's true. It'll be there probably today, to be honest with you. We ain't going to talk about it. We ain't going to talk about it. Ja, what up, Ja? Says, what up with the 2-ball? I appreciate you. Wesley Turner says Speakeasy is trying to cannibalize Nightcap subs. And apparently they doing it successfully. Ja says, check your email about the police official in New York getting arrested. Already, we did that part of the show earlier. Y'all be late to the show. Jay, what up, Jay? Says, Dems are the only party going towards Americans first. Though their policies are unorthodox, also the golden age is actually a golden shower. And Lord knows we don't want to give golden showers. All right? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Courtney Egger says, so I should just work like I've been doing. Don't worry about getting in the algorithm. Just clarifying. I think that it's important for you to work. My biggest thing when I was coming up earlier in my content creation game was that I wanted to create my own motion. I never wanted somebody else to say that my success was because of them. And maybe it was this pure drive and ego or something like that. But everything I did, it had to be because people was rocking with me, not because they was rocking with somebody else. So to answer your question, yes, you should keep working. Don't never worry about the algorithm. The algorithm gonna do whatever it is gonna do. I never knew when I was gonna go viral. What email do I send the clips to? Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. All right.
Evan Watson back for us. Evan, negotiating tactic or not, the team called the framework for a deal a non-starter. They also asked for some things that appear to be out of the city's control.
Sure. Speaking last week in front of Portland City Council, Blazers leaders referenced Portland's business climate, saying it makes it harder to run a competitive and profitable NBA franchise. I asked a field leader at the University of Oregon about that position. The Blazers want the public to fully pay for a $573 million arena upgrade. But beyond that, team leaders say the city and county shouldn't ask for much in return because Portland, they say, is a tough place to grow a team.
Portland's current stagnant business climate, high income taxes, and divisive political environment make this a tough city to invest in. It makes it harder to sell tickets, secure corporate partnerships, and as I said, recruit players.
Lauren Anderson is the director of the Warsaw Sports Business Center at the University of Oregon.
I think it's a negotiating tactic. I also do think there's a lot of truth to the statement. Portland hasn't drawn a bunch of other corporate headquarters, which does make it challenging in terms of pulling in other sponsors.
But she says the Blazers' new owners would have known Portland's limitations.
You don't spend billions of dollars to buy a team if you don't know what the market looks like. You probably knew this, and is this a lever to just put more pressure to move the team to another city?
When Blazers owner Tom Dundon took charge, he seemed to recognize that local officials would want trade-offs in exchange for public funding. Things like using local union labor and getting annual rent payments.
The people that represent the city and the county and your tax dollars are going to do a deal that's great for them, I hope. And then I'm going to try to do the same for the Trailblazers.
A few months later, talking to the Portland Metro Chamber in June, Dundon seemed more cynical, explaining why he wants to avoid any kind of private investment.
It feels like we're making a pretty big investment by staying here and paying these tax rates and agreeing to these fees for dollars that go back into the building. It's not that we're taking the money.
With the possibility of relocation, Anderson says other NBA owners would rather have the higher expansion fees than a potential relocation fee, and the Blazers moving wouldn't look great for the league.
It doesn't seem like the NBA would want to be in a position where another team leaves the Pacific Northwest, especially with the fan base as strong as the Blazer fan base has always been.
With the Blazers' future and Portland's realities, everything is on the table in hard-fought negotiations.
My hope is that, this is really something that Dundon's being honest about and wants to try and keep the team here and make it work. I do think the city is also fair to be cautious and apprehensive about whether there's a long-term commitment.
Portland council members will hear public testimony on the term sheet on Wednesday morning, starting at 9:30. Then the next day, Thursday, Multnomah County commissioners are set to talk about and potentially vote on the county's funding for Moda Center upgrades.
So let me give you my insight on what goes on from both a business perspective and as a person that has actually went to the Moda Center. So number one, I didn't realize how awesome Detroit was until after I started going to other cities and going to NBA games at other arenas. And yes, I did sit courtside. I sat literally in between the Blazers and the scorers table. And I actually met somebody that I wound up doing business with that was sitting next to us. But when I went to Portland, and a lot of y'all know that I talk about going to visit Portland and the state of the city and stuff like that all the time. When I went to Portland, I'm an NBA fan, and so I went and seen if it was a game popping, and so I wound up going to the game. And I realized that places like Little Caesars Arena where the Pistons play is head and shoulders above places like the Moda Center. They had no real clubs like that I was able to enjoy. The arena was old. The way to get around was weird. All of that type of stuff, right? And my first thought when I went in there was like, man, I can't wait to get back home and go and watch a game at home. I started to appreciate actually being able to go to Little Caesars Arena because I was like, I didn't realize how good I got it. And when you start to go to these other arenas and these other places that are old and decrepit and all of this stuff, you realize that these places is toe up. So what's happening in a lot of the places across the U.S., similar to the Chicago Bears, the Portland Trailblazers, or the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, is asking the city for concessions in upgrading and continuing to build on the place where the Blazers play, the Moda Center. Now you got to remember that these teams lease out these places. So when people then say stuff like, well, we shouldn't be using public taxpayer dollars for improving the arenas that these other places play in, you have to remember, again, These arenas are owned by the city. They are not owned. Most of them are not owned by the team. They are leased out. The Blazers, I believe, have a lease all the way up until 2030. And if they decide to leave the city of Portland, then they would have to pay a $250 million relocation fee. The owner of the Blazers is notorious for being cheap. He is a businessman. He is not like the owner of the Clippers. He is not like over there in New York. And Portland is not a big market. Portland is not a big market. They not. I'm not even sure that their people over in Portland truly even support the team like they supposed to. I don't know. I don't even know if they support the team like they're supposed to. He is a businessman at the end of the day. And so he is saying, listen, we don't mind staying here, but we want to improve and upgrade the arena. And then on top of that, you guys are still going to own the arena. We're going to continue to lease it from you, and you'll be able to do other things with it, like concerts and all of the other stuff that y'all got going on. Now, people are on different sides of the fence on whether they think that the public's tax dollars should be an investment versus because it's a war against billionaires or it's a war against people that own sports teams right now. But if you remove your emotions out of it, the thing that you ask yourself a question on is this. Is the return on investment for the Portland Trailblazers staying in the city worth the investment from the general public to upgrade the arena itself? Is the return on investment, economic activity, attracting other businesses, resources, long-term lease, do you get a return on investment by keeping them in the city? And that's also a place where I seen that male cheerleader was throwing it back. I said, what is going on in here? I didn't know what that was. But the president of Portland actually went before the city council, and he gave his perspective too.
It's going to be a busy week on so many levels. Fascinating interview, and always appreciate the follow-up, Seven. Thanks.
The conversations we've been having with the city go back more than 4 years since we began negotiating the current lease bridge deal. Since that time, we've remained consistent that to have a long-term future in Portland, the Blazers will need a market rate deal. So much of that focus has been on the building. However, like so many other companies trying to make Portland its home, we are focused on the strength of Portland's economic business environment and what it takes to be a successful business. And to enter into a long-term deal with the city, we must first address a central issue and then get serious about what a new deal looks like. Identify who negotiates on your behalf to get us there, and determine a good faith process that sets aside rhetoric, legal posturing, and political grandstanding. For the past 4 months in meetings with the city's leaders, we have been clear about the first step that's needed for these negotiations to move forward, the bridge agreement. And although we enter negotiations in good faith, the first-class standard has been wielded as a weapon, chilling our negotiations. To be clear, the first-class standard is a relic language from a 30-year-old lease, is not standard in today's NBA deals, and was certainly atypical at the time. Not only that, it would not be included in any new deal with the city. When we negotiated the bridge, we all recognized this fact, so much so that we agreed to take the standard off the table by suspending the city's ability to make those claims during the lease. I say again, the city must acknowledge that the arena is and remains in first-class condition. Doing so removes the threat of litigation hanging over these negotiations so that our conversations can move forward.
Basically, what he's saying is the city of Portland is trying to threaten litigation, and they're trying to wield some kind of power over the Portland Trailblazers to convince them to accept whatever the terms of the deal is, or to have it swing in a favor. But let's be very clear. The city of Portland has no leverage. Zero. They have zero leverage whatsoever. The hierarchy is as such. The Portland Trailblazers have the most leverage. The NBA has the second most leverage. And the city of Portland has no leverage whatsoever. Because if they go to a different city that allows for them to, or that builds a bigger arena, and the valuation of the company goes up, then they don't mind paying the $250 million. The city has no leverage. And the fact that they threaten litigation in order to get some leverage means that they're moving in bad faith.
For months, our requests to address this and other fundamental issues in the bridge agreement have been ignored. We've consistently proposed language to break the logjam, but have been flatly rejected. Without that critical first step, it's obvious that negotiations are compromised, knowing that information shared during these negotiations can't be unheard, it can't be unseen, and eventually may be used in litigation against us. As I mentioned, the building is just one part of this. In terms of what a market rate deal looks like, for 30 years, the team has invested nearly $1 billion to ensure the building is in first-class condition. That includes the building being built privately. That includes all of the work that we've done to keep it in a first-class manner, and it includes the dollars that have gone into the spectator fund, which I'll talk about more in a minute. That investment has not only kept the NBA in Portland, it has helped bring the return of WNBA's Portland Fire. It has brought top-tier concerts and a winning bid for the NCAA Women's Final Four in 2030. Even so, this team has accrued losses of more than $1 billion during business in Portland, and it's just not sustainable. On top of that, there has been a 6% sales tax on every ticket sold at the Moda Center. Those dollars have historically been spent towards the city's other expenses instead of putting that money back into the arena that's generating it. And much has been said about our investment. As I said, the building was privately built, highly uncommon in a market this size. The team paid a sales tax in terms of the spectator fund for over 30 years. And combined with every ticket that we sell, we are paying taxes that are higher than any other team and seeing that money go anywhere but back into the Moda Center. Councilors, after asking for it since March, we were as surprised as you were to see the term sheet shortly before it was shared with the press. It was never negotiated with the team, just as it never received your input.
Most of the time, these city council members and the mayors and the people that are in charge of trying to put this together, they fumble. They fumble. They fumble the team. They fumble the opportunities. They fumble everything. They mess it up for everybody. They fumble the bag 10 times out of 10. They mess up and botch the negotiations. They get into a bad situation with the team. Next thing you know, you see another state, another city try to court them, and it just all goes downhill from there. I hope y'all get it together and y'all don't become another Chicago Bears situation. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today because I have to go and check on a property. And then tomorrow, we'll do another full show. And then I have to go to the dentist, in which I absolutely despise the dentist because I know they're going to be tearing me up in my mouth. That sounds crazy, tearing me up in my mouth. But I got to go and check on the property. I can't wait till this 2 months. I can't wait till November. September, October, November. Beginning of November, we going to be lit. We gonna be lit. We gonna be lit. After hours tonight. Tonight is gonna be dedicated to the people that support the show the most. Yeah, that was wild. Tonight is gonna be dedicated to the people that support the show the most. And yeah, man, we gonna get it in. It's gonna be popping. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. Peace.